I didn't know how much emotional pain I was carrying until Kriya Yoga helped me face it and release it. It is gentle, but it goes deep. If you're dealing with emotional wounds, anxiety, or old trauma, this practice could help you come back to your center. Book a free call at kriyayogamasterclass.com or join my free school at kriyayogashop.com.
Kriya Babaji Namo. 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 Kriya Babaji Namo.
Welcome to our June 29th Vedagurudev live soul talks from a Thailand beach. As always, please subscribe at Vedagurudev YouTube channel. Discover the secrets of Kriya Yoga, 100% free, kriyayogashop.com. If you need help right now, book a call with me, kriyayogamasterclass.com. So we'll get started with our fourth Vedagurudev Soul Talks live from a Thailand beach. As can be expected, when you go live from a Thailand beach, the internet was out again today. It's about to rain, so we got all the elements against us, but we're still going to come through because we are Babaji's mailman. We deliver the mail no matter what happens. Rain, sleet, sun, snow, wind, whatever. We're coming through. So with that said, I guess let's get started with our fourth Vedagurudev Soul Talks live from a Thailand beach. So I could see backstage on StreamYard, we have Veronica and Practice Being. Welcome, Veronica and Practice Being. Glad you could join our fourth installment of Vedagurudev Soul Talks live from a Thailand beach. So I don't know if people know, it takes a lot to make this happen. And a lot of things out of my control. Last week, the internet went out. This week, there is no internet. So I'm actually using the hotspot on my phone. But live streaming from a beach in Thailand, there's a lot against you.
Yes.
No electricity, no internet, but at least you can see the palm trees. I think next door they're demolishing the building, the restaurant next door. So there's always some logistical thing that you can't plan for, but keep it going, trying our best.
Yeah, we're yogis. We don't give up. We keep climbing our Himalayan mountain.
We don't die, we multiply.
Yes.
At least you could see the palm trees in the background.
Looks beautiful. Well, I'm glad we're all here. I have a comment. Paul's here. I'll read his comment. It says, Namaste. The show must go on. Yes.
The show must go on no matter what happens. So one thing, as a yogi, we don't give up, right? We don't leave no yogi or yogini behind. I promise the Vedagurudev Soul Talks live from a Thailand beach. I hope to deliver. It might not be the best production value, but still here. As long as you can hear me, that's all that counts. You know, I still have a problem with these lights. I bought 2 lights right here. I'll just try to show it to you. Look at this light.
Oh,
Still
wow.
dark. So
Yeah.
I have two actually. Look, 1, 2. They're
Yeah.
right. You got to put them right next to your face.
Yeah.
And they got, see, look, man, if they're not next to your face, it doesn't even work. I got to put my head like right in. I mean, oh well.
Yeah. You can't
Another
beat that
fire to
Thailand
put out
sun.
for next week. At least our satsang
Yeah.
this week was perfect. The beach in Thailand, that's another thing you gotta work out, but still moving.
Yeah. Maybe some butterflies will show up. Make their
Hopefully,
presence
I
known.
need some good confirmations. It's pretty dark. It looks like it's gonna rain, so
Well,
clear the path, Babaji. Clear the path, please.
well, I guess we'll get going. I don't see any comments, so I'll just start off with some questions off the top of my head. What do you think is the biggest obstacle to the path to enlightenment?
Well, the biggest obstacle to the path of enlightenment is probably yourself. Most people overthink it. Most people get in their own way. They don't really surrender to the path. They try to think too much about it, and they just put blockages, obstacles, and resistance in their own way. So when I got on the path of Kriya Yoga, I just got to a point, I was trying to make sense of it. I was trying to overthink it. And I just got to a point where I just surrendered to the path and said, all right, well, let's just see what happens. So let's see how far it would take me. So I would say the biggest hindrance to practicing Kriya Yoga or the path to enlightenment is probably yourself. Like if you get out of your own way and just set an intention, a sankalpa to do your Kriya Yoga practice and do it wholeheartedly, then it should take care of itself. But most people try to overthink it and say, I can't do this, or what is the best way, or this path is only for Yogananda and enlightened yogis, and I could never do the asanas, or you put all these blockages and these resistance and obstacles in your own way. So if you just throw all that away and clear the path for yourself, it would be a lot easier path getting to enlightenment, I would say, because that was my problem. My first year practicing Kriya Yoga, I just put as many obstacles in my way as I could. I try to overthink everything. Well, why did they do this practice that way? Why did they do it? Then I just got to a point where I just surrendered to the practice of Kriya Yoga. I was like, all right, I'm going to just do it wholeheartedly with no expectations. I'm not going to put any rules in my way. I'm going to just practice the techniques with as much extreme tapas as I can and wholeheartedly as I can and see where it takes me. But yeah, that ego is a funny thing, especially when you start practicing Kriya Yoga. It hates Kriya Yoga the most. So it puts a lot of obstacles and resistance in your way for sure. Every single initiation, every single pilgrimage I did, that ego was waiting for me right at the door, and it says, you can't do this. You can't climb this mountain. You're not a Himalayan yogi. You're not a mountain climber. You're not Yogananda. You're not Sadhguru. You're not this guy. You're not that guy. Every single time, and still to this day. So I just said, I'm going to do it wholeheartedly and see where it takes me, and whatever happens, that's what happens. So that's kind of how I look at it. So I would say, do yourself a favor and don't put any obstacles, any blockages, any resistance in your way. Just walk the path of enlightenment wholeheartedly as best as you can without any hindrances or any blockages, or resistance that you put on yourself, because most people, they overthink it too much and they put blockages in their own way. So just throw all those blockages away and don't overthink it and just go with the flow and surrender to the practice of Kriya Yoga and walk the path to enlightenment and see where it takes you. And don't really have any expectations, because if you don't have any expectations, you really can't be disappointed. So you just say, this makes me feel good. I'm going to go with it and see how far it takes me, and where it takes me, that's where I'll land. So, yeah, I would say the biggest hindrance on the path to enlightenment is probably yourself. That ego has a funny way of getting on your shoulder and putting a bunch of doubts, in your head, like, you can't do this. You're not a yogi. Who do you think you are? Yogananda? You're no Yogananda. He comes from a real lineage and para, and you're not a Himalayan yogi. They've been doing this for thousands of years. It's not for you. It's for them, and it's their thing. And so you put a bunch of things in your mind that shouldn't be in your mind, and if you just get that dirt off your shoulder, that little devil, get out of here, and just surrender to the path and just do it wholeheartedly with no expectations, you should be fine. But that's what I would say is probably the biggest hindrance to the path of enlightenment is probably yourself, because you try to overthink all the practices. Am I doing this right? Does my left foot go here? Does my right hand go here? Oh, I'm not doing it right. Is this the right way? Is this the way Yogananda did it? Or is this the way Yukteswar did it? Or Lahiri Messiah? So you overthink it too much. So don't do it to yourself. Just surrender to the path and see where it takes you. And that would probably be my best advice.
Yeah, surrender. Yeah, and I feel like it's maybe something you can't rush. It's going to take as long as it's going to take. Like, yeah, just take your time, and yeah, don't be in such a rush. Something I'm learning.
That's why I tell a lot of people at our school, the best thing I would recommend is, the best value at our school is sign up for our yearly plan, which is $250 a year. That way you could go at your own pace. You don't have to rush through all the classes. You could take your time and let the process happen. So yeah, it's not really a lightning path. It just takes some time, So give yourself some time, go at your own pace. Don't beat yourself up about it, like, you're doing the best you can. Every yogi in the history of the universe went through this. The first day on the path, I'm not worthy. I can't do this. And just throw all that away and get out of your own way, and just surrender yourself to the practice and see where it takes you. And that would probably be my best advice.
Sounds good. How are you practice being? How's everything going?
Namaste, practice being.
I really resonate with what you're saying right now. Just that simple willingness to give yourself totally to the process, to the practice. It seems that nowadays a lot of people, from what I've observed, especially in America, in this part of the world, it seems that, and I say seems, meaning, my personal perception. I know that I'm not perception. And I want to point out, when you said yourself is the biggest obstacle, I agree with you, because the yourself that you're referring to is the self with a small s, right? It's not the self with a big S, which is that all-encompassing presence. That's what we're really all seeking. But to just intellectually understand that, just to have the awareness that that presence is here right now, and that presence is absolute, meaning that it can't be anything other than that. And it's love. It's a profound presence of love that it's really challenging to try to describe and explain with a linear language system that goes from point A to point B, and it naturally has time. It's interpreted in a sequence, but this all-encompassing awareness, I am all of this, is really what we're all seeking. And just that total willingness to give yourself to the process will transform you over time. And just show up every day. The Lord always shows up. So as we said at the beginning of this video, the yogi never gives up. Just keep doing it, doing it. And one day, I promise you, that presence will knock on the lotus of your heart, will knock on your door, and you just, it's almost like you have to, it's difficult. There's so many different ways to go about trying to describe it, and it can be challenging because when the Kundalini awakens, when you're living harmoniously and doing the right activities, and you're constantly conscious of God and the presence, this energy builds up within you, and it seeks to express, and it can be challenging to simply sit in silence. So you have to be conscious daily too of the balance and the different energies operating within you, so that they're in harmony and in balance, so that when you put in the work, as we're speaking now, with the intention of uplifting, you put in the work, you're serving, you're doing your spiritual practice, so that when you sit in silence, you can feel that, and it builds up within you over time as you prioritize this, and you realize that all is here now, and it keeps building up within you, and then the more you have to give to share with the world around you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well put, practice
yeah.
being. I would agree with you. Yeah, like when I started on the path of Kriya Yoga, I had a lot of doubts. I had a lot of obstacles. Like, I'm not a Kriya Yogi. That's for other people. That's not for me. But then I just said, well, if Kriya Yoga chose me, I didn't choose it. It chose me, which I always say, I'm just going to surrender to it and see where it takes me. And that's when the adventure started. So I just got out my own way. I spent many sleepless nights when I got on the path of Kriya Yoga, trying to make sense of it. Why did that happen? Why would Babaji come to me? He comes to Lahiri Messiah. He doesn't come to regular people like me. I'm not worthy of practicing Kriya Yoga. I don't have the dedication or the intention or the energy to practice Kriya Yoga. Then I just threw all that away and said, I'm going to just try to be the best Kriya Yogi I could be and see where it takes me. So here I landed. So that's why, yeah, I would agree. Just get out your own way and see where it takes you. Surrender wholeheartedly. Make an intention like, I'm going to do Kriya Yoga. It makes me feel good. And whatever doubts my ego tries to put in my head, or resistance or obstacles, I'm going to just let it go. I'm not going to attach to it. I'm going to just go through the practice and enjoy it as much as I can.
Yeah, I think like what can I trust? There's so much, I don't know, to not trust. I think the only thing I can trust is my soul. So I'm just trying to connect to my soul. So yeah, and life
Yeah,
is so
I
temporary.
would agree with you. Like, there's so much misinformation and junk, and people saying like the yogis in the Himalayan mountains do this and they do that, and I was like, I never seen them do any of this. So there's so much misinformation, and it kind of opens the door, because most of these yogis who have these practices that have been passed down lineage to lineage, para and para, over time, they don't want to talk to anybody. They only want to give an oral tradition to people they say that are worthy. Like they say, we only talk to people that can hear what we say. So I agree with you. There's so much misinformation. Like, who can you trust? But I would say don't trust anybody. I like when Yukteswar says the holy science, right? Or Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, the supreme science of God, yoga, right? So basically, test it, observe it, experience it, and you'll know it. I don't want you to believe me that Kriya Yoga works. Try it out for yourself. That's why we have our free school, right? Like, don't put any blockages in your way. It's 100% free. Start basic, for free, right? If you don't want to make a money commitment, that's perfectly fine. I don't want money to be a barrier for you to practice Kriya Yoga. It's for everybody. So I would say, don't trust anybody. Trust your soul, trust your intuition, and just try it. Test it, observe it, witness it, experience it, and then you'll know it, right? So that's why I like when they say the supreme science of yoga, which I like it more as a science than like a dogma, like you should do this or you should do this. And let me tell you a story about Babaji. And let me tell, like my guru used to say, detach from all stories. We're Kriya yogis. We do Kriya. We don't talk about it. So like these stories are good for fire time or, Yagna campfire time. Let me tell you a story. Babaji did this and Yogananda did this and that, but when you really sit down and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I need to do the inner work. Yogananda is not going to do the inner work for me. Babaji is not going to do the inner work for me. I need to make a commitment to Kriya Yoga and I'll do the inner work. And these stories are good when you don't have nothing to do, but I need to do the practice. The practice is not going to do itself.
Yeah.
Babaji is not magically going to come from the astral plane and say, oh, my child, put your foot there, put your foot there, put your hand behind your back. Okay. So no one's going to do the inner work for you but yourself. So you just can make a commitment to do the inner work, but don't believe me. Don't believe anybody on the internet. Test it for yourself, observe it, witness it, see if it makes you feel good. If it does, then keep it. Put it in your toolbox, put it in your pocket, integrate it into your daily life, and you'll feel a lot better. But I wouldn't trust anybody, me included. Like, test it for yourself. And if you want to test it, subscribe to my YouTube channel, 2 daily videos, motivational videos, Babaji quote, and Satsang Soul Talk edit, and discover the secrets of Kriya Yoga, 100% free, kriyayogashop.com. 100% free. If you want to take it to the next level, that's up to you, but it's not necessary. At least test it and observe it for yourself, At least you can have some knowing, like, instead of believing other people what Kriya Yoga is, try it for yourself,
I'm just curious what your thoughts are on this. I've been seeing videos like the moment of conception, like there's like this spark of light. I was just thinking, do you know if that's like the soul being entering at that moment? I don't know if it looks pretty powerful.
That's a difficult one.
Yeah.
Well, I always start these questions off with saying, I like when they say in yoga, a God defined is a God confined. So I have no clue what the source or God is doing. It's beyond my comprehension.
Yeah, I think
I'm just like trying to do my own inner work, but like it could be. I mean, I really can't say. Like I never really thought about it. So the moment of conception is the spark of life. Yeah. Well, my intuition is telling me, like, when you see a baby's born, like when my daughter was born, it was like, what happened? How'd I get here? What's going on? Take me back to the astral plane. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have signed this soul contract. They always kind of look like, what's going on? They're trying to make sense of it. So it could be like, you so-called when you start over again or you sign a soul contract and come to the 3D world, you get a memory wipe. So you don't remember anything. You don't remember who you are, which would be a hindrance to your soul evolution or your soul's growth. So, I mean, I would say your soul it's not your first day at the rodeo, this incarnation, right? Maybe it's your first day in this body, but it's not your first day. Your energy has been in some other form before. Whichever form that is, right? And I think if you remembered all your incarnations, it'd be too overwhelming, and you wouldn't be able to graduate from the soul's evolution or level up your soul because you know too much already. You already know how the game ends. So, you would you would know you couldn't die. So you would play the game differently than if you had something to lose in the game, right? So but I would say the moment of conception, maybe the moment of conception in this body, but I don't know your soul's energy, because I like in yoga, they look at their body like changing clothes, you know? They don't even attach to it. They're always saying, not this body, not this mind, or neti neti, which means not this, not this. Like this junk car, this meat suit is just carrying my body around, but I don't identify with it. You know, I'm totally detached from it. I don't even care about this. So if I don't care about my own physical body, then I don't care about nothing else. So most yogis have a state of fearlessness where no matter what happens, they don't want to be in a state of fear. So I like when Babaji says, death is a joke to me. I am the death of death. So if I laugh at death, then I laugh at everything, you know, like this body, you know, this silly little meat suit carrying my soul around. So yeah, so they kind of look at their own body like changing clothes, like they're not attached to it. So yeah, so I don't know. I would say the moment of conception. I don't know. In my intuition, I would say your soul has been in different forms many times over. You know, maybe not this form, maybe another form, but who knows? You know, so that's above my pay grade, as I like to say.
Yeah.
I got enough to do doing my own inner work, like the secrets of the universe. Woo, that's right over my head.
Yeah, well, I just want to know exactly what I am. I have too many questions. Like, um, I don't know how do we get out of this reincarnation cycle? Do you have any idea? Like, I want to get out of this.
Well, in my perception, how to get off the hamster wheel, how to not come back to this 3D physical world, I would just say, be the best person you can. Come from a place of unconditional love. Serve as many people as you can, selflessly. Like just serve from your heart with no expectations. Be compassionate. Be loving. You know, yeah. Just be the best person you can. To be antenna radiating the God divinity signal as much as you can. Like I always say, the reason I do this Kriya Yoga School, the reason I have a free Kriya Yoga School, the reason I do all these live streams is because I want to help as many people as possible. Because I want to get off the hamster wheel also. I want to extend too, you know? So
Yeah.
I want to get to, you know, when my time on this planet is up and I transcend my physical body, I'm going to show up wherever I show up, you know, Babaji's campfire or the gates of heaven, who knows, wherever I show up. And I'm going to have a big Santa Claus list, and I'm going to throw out that Santa Claus list. Hopefully it's probably the longest Santa Claus list they ever seen, but I'm sure there are a lot of ascended masters who have helped more people than me. And I said I helped as many people as I can. I did the best I could with the tools I got. Open the doors. I want to be so undeniable that they can't. You know, this is a unique guy. He's ready to go. You know, so
Yeah.
he's so undeniable. Give him the stamp and open the door. You know.
I know,
So
maybe that's why I found Kriya Yoga, to give me the tools to help me figure this out, to help me at least get 50% closer. So
yeah, and if you integrate the tools of Kriya Yoga into your daily life, it does it gives you a better mindset and a better perspective where you're not fear-based, or you're not attached to fear or Maya delusion. You kind of become the detached witness where things don't really affect you the way they used to, you know, so or they affect other people. So you have the tools in your toolbox to kind of overcome and navigate this Maya delusional material 3D world, which I recommend everybody get some tools, you know. So yeah, I would agree with you. Kriya Yoga has definitely helped me get further on my ascension path. I would definitely say 100%. Because if I kept following the path I was on, there'd be no chance of it. I was definitely not ascending. I was probably going downward, not upward. So if I could do it, anybody could do it, you know, just be the best person you can. Look for opportunities to help people as much as you can. It doesn't have to be money based. It could be just helping people, you know, help old ladies cross the street, you know, help people, like just help people. And you should be okay. Every time I get like a darshan or like a message from a higher vibration or ascended master, they always say the same thing. What are you worrying about? You're going to be okay. You're doing perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. Keep doing the same thing. Never give up, no matter what happens. You know, like today, no internet at this beach. All right, let's adjust. Let's pivot. Let's change course, you know? Like, I can't go up that mountaintop. I'm going to go around the back way, or I'm going to go the front way. You know, your mind starts working. My mind, because I used to be a DJ, I put together music, right? So my mind starts going to work. It's like that movie Beautiful Mind, where he starts writing on the window, 24 times 54. You know, all right, we ain't got no internet. We got 5 minutes to get on the live stream. Okay, what are we going to do? Okay, hotspot. So, you know, so whatever life throws at you, adjust, pivot, change course, and adjust, but never give up, you know? So when I got on this path to Kriya Yoga, I just made a commitment to never give up and surrender to the path and see where it's taken me. And it's been an absolute beautiful adventure, I would definitely say. So yeah, that would be my advice. But I'm no yogic superhero. I don't come from no super lineage. I'm just like everybody out there watching this. You know, if I could do it, anybody could do it, because I was the most unlikely yogi in the history of the universe. So you know, if you get anything from me, look at me like that guy could do it. I definitely could do it. So, you know, and we made it easy for you. I wish when I started on the path of Kriya Yoga, there was a free Kriya Yoga school. You know, I wish there was a YouTube channel which had Babaji's quotes and, you know, spiritual insights and stuff like that too. And I definitely prayed to God every night, please let there be an online Kriya Yoga school so I can understand these techniques or have somebody to talk to. That's the biggest thing about being on the spiritual path. Who do you talk to? You know, you can't talk to your mother. He thinks you're nuts. Like, yeah, I met this guy Babaji in the Himalayan mountains. What? You need to go to the nut house. You know?
Yeah.
So we have many spiritual, like-minded people who are on the path, and we uplift each other. We have a great, loving community, right? So, yeah, we have somebody to talk to. I had no one to talk to, which was quite lonely. And even my own guru was a man of few words. Happy, happy, happy. Goodbye.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Sometimes it was the most profound message. Sometimes I was like, well, that didn't help too much. You know? So, yeah. So if you need people to talk to, like-minded people, we're here for you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Vedagurudev. Join our Kriya Yoga School, 100% free, and discover the secrets of Kriya Yoga. We give you some beginner mini course and some framework. What is Kriya Yoga? Who is Vedagurudev? And yeah, if you're really going through something and you need help immediately, book a call with me, Kriya Yoga Masterclass. Click on the red button for book a call. Calendar will come up, pick a date and time, and I'll go on the call with you, and we'll try to overcome whatever you're going through. And if you want to start practicing Kriya Yoga immediately, you could join our paid Kriya Yoga school. Also go to Kriya Yoga Masterclass. There's a button that says, a red button that says join the Kriya Yoga School Masterclass now. And yeah, I'll coach you and I'll walk you through it, and hopefully get you the best results you've ever gotten. So Veronica's all been a member since 15 months ago, so she's a living testimonial. She was skeptical in the beginning, but she just surrendered to it and said, let me give it a try. And here she is 15 months later. And yeah, so I would just say surrender to the process and see where it takes you. And that would be my best advice. So yeah, give me 30 days. If it doesn't work for you, cancel. You know, if it does, let's keep going on the journey together, you know. So, but have some tools in your toolbox. In 2025, it's rough out here without no tools. It's almost impossible. It's overwhelming without no tools. So at least get some tools, you know.
Yeah, I was on the classroom today and I was looking at our very first satsang. It was July 3rd. So in a couple days, it'll be July 3rd. We've been doing this for
Ooh,
over a year. And I've asked you
yeah.
probably thousands of questions. So I'm very lucky to have this. 'Cause-
And I try to
and-
answer all your questions and everybody's question wholeheartedly. I don't know everything, nor do I claim to know everything. You know, some things are above my pay grade and some things I have no knowledge of, but I try to do my best, you know, because I remember when I started on the path, there was no one to answer my questions to. And most of these yogis or acharyas or they don't answer too many questions, you know. Like I don't know why, but so I want to make myself readily available to answer all people's questions. That's why our satsang, which we've been doing almost a year now, it's been doing good, and now we do another one, Vedagurudev Soul Talks, which sounds nice from live from the Thailand beach, but it's a logistical nightmare more than I thought.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, maybe we have
No
to
internet.
pivot and do something else.
Oh, it's okay. I'm still good at. I guess doing it off my hotspot is okay, right? Have you
So far.
has it buffered? It
Not
hasn't
that I can
buffered,
see.
or
Yeah, it's been fine.
all right. Well, I'm using my phone, but yeah. So that's a perfect example. 5 minutes before the live stream, there was no internet. Pivot. Okay. All right. Where do I gotta go? Where's my pencil? 25 times 52.
Beautiful mind.
Okay. All right. Hotspot. Let me try it. Yeah. Okay, go. I'm throwing a Hail Mary, right? Last this results. People are waiting for these soul talks. Maybe they've been waiting all week. I can't let them down, you know. So let's pivot. Let's try to figure out, to solve this problem.
Well, Joe Kansas is with us. He says, Jai all, happy to be here. Namaskar. Namaskar.
Jai, Joe Kansas. Namaskar to you also. Thank you for joining us, Joe Kansas. Yeah, if you watch we did a Yagna Holy Fire June 25th on the new moon. So, Joe Kansas, I burned up all your problems in the Holy Yagna Fire. So, hopefully you're on the road to recovery. You're getting better, and none of these problems no longer serve you.
Okay, so something I've been thinking about, like if my soul is my soul sovereign, nobody can force me to do anything. I have to agree to it. And I get to the end of my life, and the council of elders say, "Well, you got to work on this and that." But ultimately, I don't have to agree to that. I would think, but I just need to remember who I am. Like, I don't. But I feel like we get tricked into guilted into staying. You got to work on this relationship. You got to do this. But I thought wouldn't you say? Don't you think our souls are free, but somehow we got tricked? Like,
You got some deep questions today, Veronica.
sorry.
No, it's okay. I welcome the challenge. So, yeah, like I would say I think it's kind of predetermined, but you could pivot and change course and change direction, and it gives it a good plot twist, you know, like so if you get before the council of elders, like, yeah, first 40 years of my life I wasn't too proud of, but I pivoted, I changed course and changed directions. Now I help as many people as I can. I give unconditional love. I try to be compassionate as possible, and I just do the best I can. You know, I'm not perfect every day. I like when Patanjali says in the Yoga Sutras, the line to God is not a straight line, it's a zigzag. Some days I fall off the path, but I always dust myself off and put one foot in front of the other and keep going. So if I go before the council elders and they pull out their book, they're probably gonna have a big book of the first 40 years of my life, and they'll be like, Vedagurudev, when you were 10 years old, you ate a cheeseburger. I'd be like, yeah, so what? Turn the page. I overcome. You know, I'm not eating cheeseburgers like I was when I was 10 years old. Water under the bridge. Turn the page. You know, Vedagurudev, you did this or you did that. I was like, yeah, I overcame that. You know, I learned from it. Turn the page. Turn the page. So if you have the right mindset and you feel like you did the best you can and there's nothing to come back to, then how can they really make you come back or trick you? You know, I always tell people, like, how can I say this? That are on their last days of their life, right? No regrets. Enjoy the divine flight, right? If you have no regrets, you did the best you can, then how can you come back? You know? You ate a cheeseburger when you were 10 years old. Do you want to go back and fix that? Nope. I've overcame it. I made peace with it. I'm good. I want to stay here with you guys. I've seen enough, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, well, what about this or what about that? Nope. Not interested. I did the best I could. I travel light. I have no baggage. I have nothing I want to go back and see. I did the best I could, you know? Wouldn't you like to go back to your cave in the Himalayan mountains? Not really. Been there, done that. I did it.
Try to keep...
You know, I've overcame it, so I'm good. You know, so that's kind of how I try to look at it. You know, so yeah. If you have no regrets, what can they tell you to come back to? You know, I did it. I'm good. You know, I've seen enough. No need. You know. Don't you want to make a new soul contract to go back to that? Not really. I'm good. I'm going to hang out here with you guys. What are you guys doing up here? You know? But how can I say? I do have a feeling that they look at you like you're doing the hard work. You're doing the heavy lifting. You're on the front line, right? When you're on the astral plane, you're just hanging out, enjoying being in a happy state, but there's really no soul growth there. When you come here, then you have a lot of obstacles, millions. So it gives you a good perspective, you know? Like if you just stay in a state of bliss 100% of the time, you wouldn't have the perspective of what non-bliss is. So it kind of balances it out, but I don't know. I think you asked me, I've seen enough. I can't wait till I ascend. My bags are packed and by the door and ready to go anytime. So I just do as much inner work as I can and get as far down the path as I can. When that day comes, I'll say, all right, I got no regrets. I did it as best as I can. I probably did better than I should have.
You mentioned Patanjali's, and I've been thinking about that, like letting things go and forgiveness. I think that's like the key. And I was thinking about our holy yagna fires that we do, the full moon and the new moon, to like let go of things that don't serve us, or to think things are blessings. or things that we wish to manifest. And I don't know, I was thinking that if I don't know, I'll just, these are some things that I wanted to burn. And first one, it was my intention and my desire to forgive, release, and heal myself from everything I have ever said or done. And then my second wish is for my friends and loved ones to be forgiven, purified, healed, and fulfilled with an abundance of life, of love. So I was thinking I'll forgive myself and forgive others. I think that's a great way to get off the hamster wheel. So
Yeah, I would definitely forgive yourself and have self-love for yourself and be as kind to yourself and compassionate to yourself as possible. That's a good first step before you try to heal others. Heal yourself first. And yeah, I would just be the best person you can and forgive everybody. Like my guru used to say, what is the worst thing you could do to your soul? And I was like, I don't know, Baba, tell me. He said, the worst thing you could do to your soul is guilt. Guilt is like stabbing your soul with a knife. It's guilt. You should never have guilt. Whatever you did, that's what you did. And you shouldn't even worry about it. It's water under the bridge. So you should always forgive yourself. No yogi in the history of the universe has been 100% enlightened from day one, Some days are good days, some days are bad days, but we always never feel guilty about anything. He says it's an attack on your soul. You never want to attack your soul. You want to let your soul shine and you want to uplift your soul. Don't lower your soul with these lower emotions, especially guilt. He's like, other things, if they happen, whatever, but never no guilt. Throw guilt out the window. No attacking your soul. So yeah, always forgive yourself for whatever you did, and just it happened the way it happened, and that's the way it happened. And
yeah, just gotta let it go.
I have no regrets. I said in a satsang before, I think Shiva Angi said it, K Sara Sara, right? Whatever happens, that's what happens. So I'm not attached to it. I'm not feel guilty about it. It happened the way it happened, and I'm just going to let it go. Clouds passing in the sky, water under the bridge.
Yeah, this world is really hard, and I don't know what your opinion is on this, but I keep hearing that there's like non-human beings or like negative energies that feed off our negative energy. Do you have any knowledge of that?
No, not really. But if they do feed off our negative energy, why give them a tasty
Yeah, I
cake
don't
to
want to
eat
give
every
it.
night? Don't give them don't
Yeah,
give them no food to eat. Like in yoga they call it ego food, right? Like, oh, I love that ego food. I'm sure the first 40 years of my life, my ego was super fat from eating all my ego. I was totally consumed in my ego, Maya delusional body. So now I try to starve my ego as much as possible. Nah, you get no negative energy over here. I don't care what happens. Like I always say, I like when they say in the yogic Vedic scriptures that no matter what happens, don't let anything shake your samadhi. So no matter what they show on the news, no matter what happens, even if it's the end of the world, my samadhi will be totally fine, So I look at it that way too. Like, yeah, it's hard, but don't feed the beast, if you know what I'm saying. Hold up the white flag, not the dark flag, right? Like, there's too much darkness here. We need more light. So don't feed the beast.
yeah. Or call Agastir. He can eat
Paul
it.
Agastir, he eats the demons, the demon slayer, right?
Um, I don't. Did you have any questions, Practice Being? I'm doing all the blabbing. I'm doing all the talking. I feel guilty.
No questions really.
Okay.
I've simply been observing and witnessing what is being said, and a lot of it I really resonate with. It's truly soul talking. It talks from the heart, as Vedagurudev says, wholeheartedly. When you put your whole heart into something, that's actually a teaching. What you were saying, Vedagurudev, teaching from Jesus, from Christ, that once you reach the level of unconditional love and consciousness, just that no expectation, devotional service, that is my purpose, that's my intention, that's why I'm here in this physical body, aware from within this, to be of service. When that's your intention and there's no expectation, it's actually a different subjective experience. And once you're at that level of consciousness, there's really no going back. Once you see the light, you can't go back to the black. Of course, like you're saying also earlier, that the ego is kind of always there as a shadow, right? You're aware of it, but you starve it. You, like you just said, you don't feed into it, and you realize that the illusory nature of it, and that actually there really is no ego. It's something we point to with this word ego that has nothing to do with the presence that is always with us. This word is very powerful because simply repetition of the presence, because we realize that this is always here now. And just simply that awareness that we have the option to choose peace, to choose silence. And actually, I as a person, am not even choosing it. It's choosing me. I'm simply aware of it. And the more I bring myself to this, perhaps by slowing down, take a few deep breaths, slow the rate of breath. Everything is connected to breathing. And Kriya Yoga really helps us realize this too. It's a very practical way to connect us to the life air, to the life breath. It's talked about in, of course, Autobiography of Yogi, Bhagavad Gita, the life air. We can go many days without food and water, but when we start to be aware perpetually of our breathing, when we slow the rate of breathing down, we deepen our dimension of experience. We can easily access different, and also it says breathlessness is deathlessness, because when we slow our rate of breathing, but we're still fully awake and alert, based on where our attention is focused along the human spine, where our awareness is predominantly operating from, when we're at the level of unconditional love, we're primarily operating from the heart, the path of service, the path of its simultaneous bhakti, devotion, and karma yoga action, because you're intentionally serving. And that karma is, you're building up good karma. We could say good spiritual merit on the path to full enlightenment, because enlightenment isn't just one thing that you get there and that's it. There's progressive levels, and that's what we're here to do on this earth. That's our collective purpose, is for our soul to evolve and to help to realize everybody else, not see them objectively as a body, not to see them separately, but to see actually they're a soul aware from within a body as you are. And the more you evolve, you're helping everybody around you, even if you're not actively engaged in service as we are now. Simply by, you could be a Himalayan yogi and not even talk to anybody, and your soul evolution, your energetic evolution is affecting the whole world, collective humanity, because things that you do with the physical body die when the body goes back to the earth. Things that you do with your mind, they have a little longer lifespan. But things that you do with your life energies, that persists eternally, long after you leave, the soul leaves the physical body. So once we set this as our spiritual priority, to work with our life energies, as you say, Vedagurudev, to do the inner work, to be conscious of the inner work, not to get lost in concepts and imagination. I wonder this realm and that. No, be focus here now. be aware within your holy temple, your physical vehicle, which is a gift from God. We've been awarded this human form of life. It's a blessing. This earth is a beautiful school to teach us as we're all lifetime students towards spiritual enlightenment. So when we see everything and everybody as a teacher, not taking things personally, but hey, this person said this to me, and there's a lesson to be learned from it. They're teaching you something. They're teaching you something about yourself, because really they're not separate from you. Perhaps that was something you formerly imagined and conceived in imagination, and now they're showing up, and oh, I remember, that's why, and you're connecting the dots now, and there's so many different ways to go about trying to explain it, but ultimately we all share the same purpose, and we're all here doing some form of service. And when that's our intention and it's based in unconditional love, then you can't go wrong. You literally can't go wrong, and that's a guarantee from Jesus. He said once you reach the level of unconditional love, your soul is eternally free. And that's a beautiful blessing. So just as you said, Vedagurudev, don't have any expectations. Show up, do your practice wholeheartedly, unconditionally, devotedly, eternally. Never give up, and you can't go wrong. You literally can't go wrong, because it transforms you. When you show up and do your practice every day, your heart, you learn to love the practice itself. You see the practice itself as God. I'd say Kriya Yoga is God. God in action as I'm doing the practice. And as you say, Vedagurudev, do it as if Babaji's standing right in front of you right now. He's listening to us right now. And when you're constantly aware of this, then, hey, there is an eternal witness that is aware of every thought, every action, every intention. When you're constantly, we could say, God conscious, then you're naturally unconditional, because you realize that there is, we could say, a judgment day, and that judgment day actually is today. It's right now. And every choice you make, every choice your soul makes, you're going to gravitate to the realm accordingly when you leave the body. So you want to make the right choices. And we, going back to what you were saying about a question you had, Veronica, came to mind about free will. We all have infinite potential in free will, and really the only free will we have is what we place our attention on a soul level, what we place our awareness upon. And the main freedom we have is directing our mind inward and focusing on the inner world and doing the inner work. And the more we do that, the more freedom, the more liberation we have. And just being constantly aware of your attention, that's, no door in the universe won't open if you give it your wholehearted attention.
Yeah, well put, Practice Being. Yeah, I like what he said, because that's the way I practice and I do my sadhana. Like Babaji is standing right in front of me, and I offer my sadhana, my Kriya Yoga daily practice as an offering to Babaji, right? So my guru asked me one day, what is the best way to, okay. Hold on a second. They see me doing live stream and they rev up their car when they pass.
Yeah.
My guru said, what is the best way to please Babaji? And I go, I don't know, Baba, tell me. He said, by doing your sadhana wholeheartedly. When you do your sadhana wholeheartedly, this is the best way to honor Babaji. This is the best blessing to Babaji. So I really take that to heart. When I do my daily sadhana, I do everything like Babaji is standing right in front of me. I give this all to you, in honor of you, So that's the way I like to do my practice. Like Babaji is standing right in front of me. a couple yogis asked me before, they were like, what would you do if Babaji showed up right now? I said it'd be another day at the office, because I do all my practices like Babaji is standing there. So it would be no difference than yesterday, because I practice like, he's not there in the physical form, but his essence is there. So I practice like he's standing there. If he shows up or he doesn't show up, I do the same. I no difference, right? I practice the exact same way, with a heart full of gratefulness and gratitude for all the ascended masters and all the Kriya yogis who have laid the blueprint for all these beautiful Kriya yogic practices. And if it can work for a non-yogi like Vedagurudev, it could definitely work for anybody out there. So, yeah. There was another time I was at an initiation, and they asked people, what do you want the most from Kriya Yoga, right? And everybody, 90% of the people said, I would like for Babaji to show himself to me. And it got to me, and I was like, I don't really have any expectations. I just practice, and it takes me where it takes me. And they were like, they couldn't believe, you don't want to see Babaji? No, Babaji's busy. He got a lot of stuff to do. I'm okay. Why does Babaji need to stroke my ego and show himself in front of me? Hello, Vedagurudev. You're doing a good job. Keep up the good work. Goodbye. So, and there was this one girl who came from a lineage, a parampara of Sitas, and she said to me, she goes, you know why you don't want to see Babaji? I go, no, why? Tell me. He goes, because you've seen Babaji too much already, and you're in a past life, you were already in Babaji's inner circle. So you don't have that need like other people have that need. I said, all right, I guess if you say, but that's not my intention. I'm not doing a practice. So like, if Babaji shows up, I'll be ready. I just do what I do, and it takes me where it takes me. So yeah, but that is the way I practice. If Babaji shows up, it'd be another day at the office, because I practice every day like Babaji standing right in front of me. And I offer all my sadhana and all my yogic practices to his feet, same way I did to my guru. When I woke up, first thing I did was touch my guru's feet in India. When I do my sadhana, the first thing I do is give my sadhana to Babaji's feet as an offering, as a blessing. Along with everything, I give my food to Babaji. I give everything I do, as an offering to Babaji. He's doing the heavy lifting. He's doing the best job with all the ascended masters. All the glory to them, So I take no credit for any of this. I give them all the glory, right? They're doing the heavy lifting. I'm just delivering the mail, I'm just delivering the mail, but I take no credit for the mail. The mail comes from the astral plane, the higher realms. I think you're muted, Veronica.
Yeah,
Okay,
I had,
all right.
I don't know, this was a strange thought I had, but you give offerings to your statues when you do puja, and I was
Right.
thinking, why don't you could do puja to yourself, like honor yourself, maybe like doing your sadhana, or like just self-care, mindful eating, or just making time for yourself. Because I was thinking you should be doing, honor yourself and doing puja. I don't know, maybe buy some flowers for yourself, or buy some nice fruit, or rub some nice oil on your feet. But I was thinking,
Yeah.
it's an
You
internal
should
thing too.
always take care of yourself first. Like, if you don't love yourself first, how can you love others, right? So you always have to take care of yourself first, right? Because if you're not in good soulful shape, you won't be able to radiate that energy or transmute that vibration. So you should always take care of yourself first. But when I do my puja practice, it's not like a dualist practice. It's a oneness practice, right? Like, let's say Lord Shiva, right? Puja, giving him the flame, the jyoti, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So basically, that is the Jyoti. When you say Jyoti, it's the flame, right? So you're basically saying Shiva is the flame and I am the flame and we are one. So I basically see Shiva as
Well,
me and me as Shiva. So there's no dualism. Shiva's not over here and I'm over here. It's I am Shiva and Shiva is me. So with all the puja, right? I am Lakshmi, Lakshmi is me. I am Krishna, Krishna is me. I am Ganesh, Ganesh is me. So like I am Saraswati, Saraswati is me. I am Babaji, Babaji is me. I am Mataji, Mataji is me. I am Yogananda, Yogananda is me. I am my guru is me. So like the whole puja is basically seeing the oneness inside you as you. Like I am a radio antenna transmuting the divine signal from all deities, and there is no difference. So it is like I possess Shiva power and Shiva possesses Vedagurudev power. We are one, right? So I'm basically giving the light to Shiva as an offering, but it's not a dualist perspective. It's I am lighting the lamp of Shiva and I am lighting my own inner lamp, and they merge as one fire, right? So I am Shiva and Shiva is me. So it's not it is a self-love kind of practice.
okay.
You know, I used to think it was like a dualist practice, like I am praising Sky Daddy over here and I am over here. No, Sky Daddy is here and I am Sky Daddy and Sky Daddy is me.
Sky Daddy.
So that it is a self-love. It's basically lighting the lamp, that your inner lamp, and seeing the divine of each form inside you as you. And as we talked before, there's two types of form. There's Nirgun and Sagun. And Sagun is formless, right? Some people resonate with just the lamp, right? Like just the divine light, right? Some people like to have a form, right? I'm more of a form kind of guy. Like I pray to Babaji's picture or Shiva's form. It gives me something to visualize. Some people, there's certain yogis that just merge with the light, and that's a good puja practice also. So it just depends. Formless or form, they're all great, you know. So yeah, so I would definitely say it is self-love, my practice. Like I am Shiva and Shiva is me. I am Parvati, Parvati is me. I am Lakshmi, Lakshmi is me. I am Vishnu, Vishnu is me. So it's seeing that divine oneness, right? You know, the merging of oneness. So yeah, I am Sky Daddy and Sky Daddy is me.
Sky Daddy. Do you ever, when you're doing your puja, do you ever cry? Because when I'm doing mantras, I just like these tears start rolling down I don't know where these tears are coming from. It's not like I'm sad, but do you ever like feel so much when you're doing your puja?
Absolutely. Almost on a daily basis that I just start crying, but these are cries of bliss, right? Like it's so beautiful to have to realize your true potential, to be connected with higher consciousness, to get in that blissful Ananda state, you know, like so I find myself crying a lot, you know. And when I got on the path of Kriya Yoga, I had to let go of all my emotions. So it almost I cried so much my first day on the Kriya Yoga path. It looked like I jumped in the ocean. My whole shirt was soaked. The acharya that was there was fanning me, and but
Yeah.
I was just exhausting all that built up blockages and karma and junks. Now when I cry, it's cries of bliss and just beauty, like, and it happens a lot, like mantra japa bhakti, right? The words of God and chanting the names of God is just such a beautiful practice that how can you not be touched and shed a tear every once in a while? So
Yeah.
I would look at it like a great confirmation, a great signpost that you are connecting with God and you are aligning yourself with God, and the glory, the beauty and the bliss of God is just so outstanding. How can you not shed a tear? So I welcome everybody to shed a tear when you say the name of God. It's a beautiful practice, you know? So anytime I do find a tear coming down my cheek, I say, oh yeah, I'm in the right place, because that's exactly what I'm looking for, you know? I want that confirmation. You're right. The beauty of God is so much. How can I not shed a tear, you know? The awe of God is so outstanding. The bliss of God is so great, you know?
Yeah.
In honor of you, God, I shed some tears because you are the greatest. You are doing the best job out of anybody, you know? Thank you for giving me an audience. I appreciate you, all your hard work. I never want to take God for granted. He's doing the best job out of anybody, right?
Yeah.
I said before in the sad song, if I wake up tomorrow and there's no sun, we're in trouble. So every day I wake up and I see the sun, I have a big smile on my face. I say, thank you, God. You came to work. You're doing the best job out of all, right? You know, everybody gives gratitude to everybody else, but a lot of people take God, the source, for granted. So all the glory to source. He's doing the best job out of all, right? So thank you, source, for coming to work today.
Yeah.
Keep
Thank
up the
you.
good work. So that's basically what my puja is. Thanking all the astral plane deities and the lords and the devis and ascended masters. I mean, my puja list is long. It probably takes like 30 minutes to an hour. I go through everybody. I don't want to leave no deity behind. I have probably 20 goddesses. I have 20 lords, and then I have all the Sitas and the ascended masters and all the people that laid the Kriya Yoga blueprint. So it's long, but they're doing all the heavy lifting. I'm just delivering the mail. I'm doing the light work, so I take no credit. All the glory to God. He's doing the best job out of all. The sun came up today. The moon is going to come up tonight at night. God is the greatest of all time. The source, whatever name, whatever form you give God, he's doing the best job out of anybody. So I always liked it. Like I said this before, I think in our class, in yoga, I call it yoga hot potato. Like when somebody says, Vedagurudev, you're such a good teacher, you know so much about Kriya Yoga, you say all the right things. I said, not me, my guru. And I pass the hot potato to my guru. And he says, not me, my guru. And he passes the hot potato to his guru. And then he passes the hot potato. And before you know it, it goes back to like Babaji or Krishna or Adi Yogi, which is Lord Shiva himself, right? And you know, no, don't give me the hot potato. I don't want no part of this ego play. I give it to my guru, and he gives it to his guru. And you know, before you know it, they give it back to God. So it all comes back to God. God is the greatest. So I take no credit for this. God is the outstanding. Keep up the good work, God. You're doing the greatest.
I love that. You don't get your ego in the way. Like, I give it to you.
I'm
You can
I'm
have it.
trying
You
to
can have
stay
it.
humble and less ego.
In other words, you can't be bribed and you can't be flattered.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
when
true.
you remain humble, then honestly, there's more power in being humble than anything else. Humility is divinity's favorite quality.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, Practice Being. When I had a darshan, they told me, stay humble, always humble, right? That is the thing you need to work on, because you come from a super egotistical background where humbleness was at a low percent, probably zero. Now you need to stay humble. So like, yeah, I agree with you. When you stay humble, it is really a good superpower, and you don't want to take credit for none of this. You just want to look at yourself as like a mailman. So I agree with you. Cultivate humility. That you can never go wrong with that. And I like how you said that. That was well put.
If you say you're a mailman, I'm a mailman, and I like to say I'm a channel. I'm simply a channel. I'm a witness as much as you are. I'm a witness of this as we all are. And
True.
as you say, just to identify with the detached witness. I'm not this body and its ongoings, or even my mental ongoings in the thought process. I'm not this body. I'm not this mind. And therefore,
True.
I'm not subject to time, because time only has to do with the body and mind. And what we're all seeking ultimately is that state of timelessness and formlessness, which is in all form. And that's the seeming paradox. When we worship form, going back to what we were saying previously, when you do your puja, or Veronica was talking about self-care, really how to see it is the worshipper and the worshipped are one. You're really worshiping yourself.
Right.
Whatever you're doing, if it's an offering and it's done with that unconditionalness of no expectation, you are worshiping yourself. You're worshiping the divinity in everything, in all form. You see the sacredness of all life, and when you see that sacredness, and that's deeply heartfelt, then there's no judgments, and there's no need for forgiveness, because you've transcended the need to forgive anything, because you don't see anything as out of place, because everything is perfect as it is, because everything is an expression of God. When you see all is God now, and the God in everything, or as you say, Vedagurudev, in you as you, see everything in you as you. There is no fundamental within and without. Of course, we use this language to kind of appeal to different people at different points along their spiritual journey, like within and without. But ultimately, there is no duality. Going back to what I was saying at the beginning of the video, the absolute, the presence, it means that that's all there is. That there is no me and this and that, and there is no sense of separateness. And of course, at different points during the day, even, we may find ourselves at different states of consciousness, and one day may go better than another day. But the thing is to persist no matter what. Have a definite all-in commitment that I'm doing this no matter what. I commit to this path of Kriya Yoga no matter what, or whatever your spiritual path is, whatever your spiritual discipline is. There has to be discipline. There has to be sadhana, which is spiritual discipline, a path to God. And when that's your intention, when you show up every day, you kind of lose the sense of, I got to do this. I got to force myself to do this, because you're animated by a higher energy, a presence. And so you lose that sense of separateness, that sense of, I got to do this, and it's a drag. Or it may start off that way initially on the spiritual journey, like I gotta do this, and but you transform. The whole point is, when you stay consistent with it, it transforms you. And then you realize that really the process is doing me. The practice is doing me. Actually, Kriya Yoga chose me. I didn't choose it. You realize that there's a higher intelligence, a higher power, source, a guidance that is beyond all intellectual comprehension. Actually, that is assisting me in my spiritual process, in my daily practice. And I offer this very body everything to this. Anything that I consume, whether it be physical, food, or mental information that people are watching now, that everything's information. When you see everything is information, you have that natural discernment. And that discernment comes from the heart, comes from that unconditional place. Because when your heart is open, naturally, the higher energy centers are open. And you have discernment when your Buddhic bodies are open. And you see everything for what it is, you perceive its essence. And therefore, you can't get caught up in it, because you see yourself as a detached witness. And you, as you say, Vedagurudev, you kind of laugh at it as a joke it is. Don't roll in the mud with the pigs. There's no
Right.
judgment. We say that, with a sense of humor. We're
Right.
not judging the pigs because we used to be there too. I know I used to. Like you said, there was a point
I
when
definitely was a pig. I was rolling in that mud. I had more mud over me than anybody. I was a pig for sure.
100%, man. And there was a point where my humility was at 0% too. So now, based on the contrast, I recognize the importance of humility. And actually, humility is not an emotion. So it's not really even something that somebody can claim. Like, I'm humble. Because the whole
Yeah.
point is humility is that that person is gone. That self-image,
Right.
that sense of separateness, that's absent. To be truly humble is to sit here with no sense of self-image, sense of personal identity. When
Right.
that kind of drops away, when the mind drops away, you're more aligned with truth. And when you simply sit here in the silence, that is true humility. And the more you do that, the more you actually crave it. Like you actually look forward to meditation. I know for me, meditation started off as I gotta force myself to sit here and do this.
Right.
But the more you do that, the more you realize there actually is no person to force it. The whole point is
Right.
the presence, and you look forward to it because it builds up within you, and then it seeks to find expression. As we're on here now. I'm curious, Veronica, is there any question? Like, does anybody ask any questions?
No.
Huh.
Yeah, just
We're still having a great conversation, so that's okay.
Well,
Yeah, I've been
anybody who's
looking.
on YouTube watching this, post your comments and questions in the YouTube chat. You know, we don't want to leave anybody behind. Joe, Kansas, I think
People are
there's,
enjoying the conversation. Wendy Barner said thank you. So
yeah,
yeah.
Wendy Barner. If you have any questions, don't be shy. Feel free. We're open book here. You know, we'll answer all your questions as best we can. So send them on over.
I've been
Actually,
thinking discipline.
yeah.
Oh, go on.
Do you want to take a picture for the thumbnail? Maybe we should try. Are you
Before your
ready
internet
to?
goes out. Okay, you want me to
Yeah.
get rid of the banner?
Yeah. Maybe, let
Let
me
me
see. Maybe I should do.
media
I gotta.
assets. Okay.
I gotta figure out how to light my face up. Hold on a second. I got this umbrella. I'm trying to. How can I light my face? Tell me if it's my face is lit up.
Not yet.
Man, the lighting is terrible here. Let me see.
Put it underneath you right now.
Underneath.
Well, if you, I don't know. No,
It's
I
hard
don't
to
think
light.
it's working.
How would I light it? Maybe I should put it upside down.
Sometimes when you lean back, I get your face.
No,
No,
that
it's
doesn't
not
work
working.
either. You know?
I don't know. I don't think
Yeah.
it works out here. Like,
Yeah, well, maybe we'll just keep the last one. That one was a little more lit up, you know? Yeah, it's not working, right? Like,
oh wait, that's
I gotta
working,
put my,
but it
if I
doesn't look
put it
good with
like
that.
super, yeah, I gotta put my, I ain't gonna work.
Yeah, maybe it's not in the cards.
Nuts, you know?
That-
Only if I put it like right next to my head, right? Oh, well.
I know.
Well,
Put it on your lap for a second. Let me see.
yeah, there's a lap. It's totally
Oh.
dark, right? So I gotta
Yeah.
figure out. I got an umbrella. I'm trying to put it. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah. Maybe I gotta cut that part out.
Yeah.
I'll just use the last one. Last
Okay.
one was okay. Maybe
Oh.
you put your hands up and I'll use you. I'll cut you. Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
sending my energy.
Okay. Great. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We're being silly.
Well, you know, it never really works out the way you plan, you know. So
Yeah.
today is no exception. Like
Yeah.
our satsang, we got it pretty dialed in, but being on a beach in Thailand,
Yeah.
the internet is shoddy, the electricity, the sun, you know, as you could see, every time a car drives by, they see me on live stream and they rev up their car and make it extra loud. So there's a lot more logistics outside
Yeah.
my controlled environment of my house or my yagna, but doing the
Yeah.
best we can with what
Yeah.
we got. So at least you could see the palm trees.
Yeah. I like the
My face
excitement. It's
lit
a
up.
wild card.
My face lit up.
Anything can
That's
happen. Yeah.
another day, another challenge. I I
We're
thought I had
having
it figured out, but I can't. I still don't have it figured out. So I bought these cool lights to put next to my camera to light me up, and it still don't work. So oh well, what can you do? Yeah, all right.
It's
Look how
slightly.
bright that is,
Yeah.
and it's only if I put it up to my face. Like that ain't gonna work.
I
Oh,
think you need to be sitting in a cave. We need to go to the Himalayan mountains, do it in a cave. That'll be your next location. We'll do it on the Himalayan mountains. That would
that
be a
would be
nightmare.
cool to find a cave
Yeah.
in Thailand, you know. But you know, no internet, no
Yeah.
electricity, so there's other things to
Yeah.
figure
Yetis.
out. But
Like,
yeah, oh, I would like to have a Yeti come
yeah,
join me
have
for
some
some
tea.
tea and a cake, you know.
Yeah, if you have good energy, come join me.
You know, oftentimes, like if I'm listening to profound content like this, I'm a very audio learner,
Right.
very sensible or sensitive to sound. So I won't even watch the video. I'll simply
Yeah.
listen to what's being said, and I feel that I can internalize that a lot better, simply listening to it. And of course, whatever we're doing, you know, when we're conscious, we're using the five senses in service. Then whatever we do, we can use all of them simultaneously, actually. But it's a form of meditation. Simply listening to content like this, heartfelt information. So even though you're not lit up the best Vedagurudev, that's all right. People
Yeah.
that are listening, watching now, that'll listen to it after it's posted, you can simply listen. You don't have to watch
Yeah.
it or do both, whatever. But that's just a suggestion, I guess.
Yeah, true. A lot of people said they just listen. I mean, what's there to look at the video anyway? I'm just sitting here and there's some palm trees. It's more about the audio and the profound conversation we have. I saw this one famous YouTuber. She films her video like low quality on Zoom on 360p, but she's saying profound things and she has 1 million followers. So you're right. People listen to more of the audio and what you're saying and the value you're giving than the actual video.
Yeah. It's the quality ingredient you're adding.
I try to make the
Yeah.
best production value I can, but
Yeah.
sometimes it just ain't in the cards.
It's all good.
It's all good.
It's-
It happens the way it should
Yeah,
happen.
as long as
you know?
it's love in its purest form, it'll be great.
And whoever
Yeah.
it needs to reach is probably going to reach too. So
Yeah.
that's the perspective I always have. Like, if it uplifts and helps one person, then it's worth it, you know?
Practicing, I agree with what you were saying. I feel like discipline is a form of love. Like you're doing it for yourself, and I don't know, you're like you're showing up for yourself. You know, it's not just being disciplined, but it's for you. You're not doing it for anybody else but yourself. And
And
some days,
by Go on. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say some days, it's not the greatest, but I just, I pick up and I do it again the next day. But just, I don't give up. I keep going.
100%. And that's the key, is never to give up.
Yeah.
Discipline is definitely the greatest form of self-love. Jai Baba Ji, Joe. Amen.
Jai Babaji. Absolutely.
Victory.
Right?
Jai means victory.
Victory to Babaji.
Victory.
Jai means victory. Absolutely.
Paul has joined us. Let me move this. Get it. Media assets. Namaste, Paul.
Namaste,
How are
Paul.
y'all
How are you today? Yeah, doing good.
I'm doing well as well. It's nighttime here, as you can see. Look at that beautiful moon up there, or little sliver of a moon.
Oh, yeah, the dogs are barking at the
nice.
moon.
You're
Outstanding.
like Shiva. Shiva with the moon up.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
right.
crescent moon. Yeah, Lord Shiva.
Very cool.
But yeah, so in the Maya delusional world, I had an interesting thing happen to me the other day, not a very good thing, but I was driving home, and I drive most of the time I drive a small Mazda. It's a 2-seater. It's like 3 feet tall. And so I'm always kind of checking my mirrors, and like I had been noticing like people like riding right up on my tail, and I hate that. So I'm like, and so I had just ordered this sticker just for fun. I got a Yosemite Sam sticker with like, he's got holding his 2 pistols, and it says "back off." But anyhow, so I'm driving home, and also I checked my rear view, and I noticed this big monster truck, jacked up with giant tires, like got in, he changed lanes and got in right behind me. So
Oh no.
I don't know what happened. Like if he, from his vantage point, maybe he couldn't even see my car, but I felt like he was accelerating and he was about to hit me. So I had to like step on the accelerator, and luckily there was like a lane for me to go into, and I, zipped over to the side, but it scared the hell out of me. And then, there was some anger. I was like hoping to stop, next to him at the stoplight and give him a piece of my mind, but that kind of subsided pretty quickly. But then when I got home, the little sticker I had ordered was there in my mailbox. It was just kind of like a weird timing about it, because I had been thinking about that. So I'm just wondering, and I feel like I was protected, somehow, in that situation by being able to avoid that collision. He probably would have rolled right over me with those big old tires. Just like in those when they're in the stadium, those monster trucks, But yeah, so it's crazy out there. Luckily, I had my Caversham shield on,
Mm.
Yeah, in Thailand, I drive a temple, so I have a lot of statues. And after last satsang, my daughter had to go to Bangkok for her 3 months spinal surgery checkup, and she doesn't like my statues. And I was like, come on, I need these statues. Bangkok is the craziest of all, right? The famous Thai trick they do, they just pull out and they don't look, right? So almost on a daily basis, I almost get my car hit. They just pull out, no look, right? So I was like, please, I need my statues so I can have a clear passage to Bangkok and back, because it is total chaos, So I feel like my statues are clearing the path, if you know what I'm saying. Like, all right, get out the way, please get out the way. So when she said, Daddy, could you take your statues out? You have too many statues in your car. I was like, oh no, I need those statues. We're going to the craziest city of all, right? Bangkok, Thailand. 15 million people in one melting pot, Traffic is the highways are like spaghetti, they don't even make no sense. Even your GPS blows up. Like it doesn't know if you're on this road or that road. So like GPS is totally useless in Bangkok. So yeah, I know what you're saying. I like to have that extra protection out here because there are people driving monster trucks. There are people that are pulling out, not looking. I don't know. There are Chinese people driving 5 miles an hour. It's a total war zone out there.
Yeah.
There's Thai people with their motorcycle driving the wrong way on a one-way street. Who can make sense of that? So have some kind of protection out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's relatively tranquil here in the United States compared to that because, it's the same way in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Big swarms of motorcycles all just like everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Scooters.
Yeah. Philippines exactly the same, right?
Yep.
All that is hundreds of motorcycles at the front of the light, right? And they squeeze in between your car. What I like in Thailand, that the women, when they sit on like a motorcycle taxi, they think it's proper to not straddle the motorcycle, but hold their knees off to the side is the proper way. And they rub their knees on your car when they pass by because they pass by so close. I always thought that was funny.
It sounds dangerous.
It is pretty dangerous. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't want my child to do it, or
Yeah.
But-
I've taken those little the trikes. I think they call them trikes. So they have like a little cab on one side. So I'm always the one who has to sit on that side straddle position. So yeah, I've noticed my knees coming kind of close to some vehicles. I'm like, shit, I better tuck my knees in there or get them taken off.
Yeah,
Crazy.
rub your knees wrong. Yeah. It's a crazy world out there. Protect yourself. How's your mini Yagna going, Paul? I like the pictures you posted. Looks very beautiful.
It's good. I need to do another one. So far, I've only burnt up the one, but like I did as you said and tried to make it as detailed as possible. And then later, like after I done burning it, I realized I had forgotten a few things that I wanted to add in there, so I'll have to do another one and add that in,
Oh, great. Hopefully it burns away all the problems that no longer serve you in the present moment.
Absolutely. So, how do you have your statues secured? Are they like glued down or what?
So I have them, I cut out a piece of wood and they're kind of attached to the piece of wood. And I have under the wood like Velcro so I could take it out or not, So it took a little bit of trial and error. When I first did it, I made a right turn and it almost flew out the window. So I had to figure out logistically how to attach it, but it seems to be okay now,
And which deities do you have riding along with you?
Oh, I got a lot. I got dancing Shiva. I got yoga Shiva. I got Brahma. I got Maruga. I got Ganesh. I got 2 Ganeshas. Who else am I missing? No, I got 3 Ganeshas because I got 2 facing forward and I got 1 facing back. So I when I was in India, I found the solar Ganesh that he's holding the axe and the noose. So he does like this, like how like those Hawaiian ladies with the solar that some people put in America.
Oh,
I have a Ganesh like that, and he goes like this.
A bobblehead.
He holds his axe up. Yeah, he's dancing Ganesh. Who else am I? Oh, Lakshmi.
Did you say Durga?
Yeah, I think I have Durga too. There's a lot, So yeah, it's a whole big collection. Maybe I'll post a picture. I sent Veronica a picture.
Yeah, it's pretty
when
cool.
my daughter made me take it out, I put it was there in the last sad song. I took it out, so I put it on my satsang altar, my Yagna altar. Yeah, I'll send you a picture, Paul, so you can see.
Great. I'd love to see that.
You
I
know,
have a
speaking
traveling temple, a traveling ashram. Have deities will travel.
yeah. I know, since we're on the topic of
Oh,
statues,
this flower
if
just
you
landed right in my hands.
oh
Oh my
nice. It's
god.
like a
Yeah,
lacy flower. Beautiful.
it just fell right in my hands right now.
It
Oh,
seems like
whatever.
every song a flower that kind of flower falls on you. And I saw a
Yeah.
butterfly earlier behind you zoom by.
Oh, they're around too. Yeah.
Yeah, they like your energy.
I just got to figure out how to put a cool light on my face, and then we'll be good. But
Yeah,
work in progress.
yeah. It, it'll come together.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's coming. Go ahead.
oh, I don't know. We were on statues. I was just thinking about Hindu statues and how they're so beautifully precise. I wonder how they did it. I don't know if they had like, because maybe they were more technical. No, they were more advanced than us, and they had modern lasers. But I don't know, like the stone carving tools are yogic powers to like create these intricate designs. I don't know. You were talking about how sound can like move things. I wonder if they use sounds to like carve their statues. I don't know. It's just like they're so intricate and beautiful, and they're still standing today.
I mean, I've been to the Great Pyramids of Giza. I've been to Kailash. All these places. Wow, the technology they have, it's so precise. Like I can't even explain like how they did that. Like it's like down to like a hair, like
Yeah,
like cuts. Like I mean, how did they do that thousands of years ago? And some of these temples you go to in India, they have so many carvings, and it's carved out of one stone. I was like, I don't know how they did that. They do have advanced technology, 100%, because I don't see how you could do that in this day and age. So they definitely had advanced technology for sure. Like all these places.
yeah,
I mean, I've been to many temples in India. You just stand there like, how did they do that? You know? And like in the Himalayan mountains, how did they get all that up that mountain?
mm-hmm.
And they like the Buddhists and the Hindus, they like to put their ashram on a mountaintop because it's like a better vibration. Even in Thailand, most of the Buddhist temples are on a mountaintop. They like it, like that's their place. So I have no clue how
Yeah,
they got all that up there, and there's no road, there's no nothing. I don't even know how they get up there, actually, to be honest with you. And they won't show you like, all right, have a nice day, and they wait till
yeah,
everybody leaves and they get to work. So in my intuition, they have some kind of sound vibrations that can lift heavy things. But this is a ancient secret technique that, or they have some kind of tools, or I think it's beyond tools. Actually, it's some kind of inner knowledge that they can move things with their
yeah,
mind, or do they somehow. I don't even know how they do it, to be honest with you. Like I think it's like what I say, like I open my crown of my head and the stream of consciousness, and God goes to work. I take no credit for this. So those statues, I would say that God did the heavy lifting. They just were a channel for God. So
yeah,
I don't, but I can't explain it. Like it's too awe-inspiring. Like wow.
yeah. Awe-inspiring.
Yeah,
I
I
watched a
visited it.
video on here about from Sri M, Babaji devotee, also Sri M, a great Kriya yogi, now living on this planet, now serving. And I watched a video of his where he materialized a Rudraksha bead. These are
Yes.
Rudraksha, and
True.
he materialized it out of thin air, right on camera. And the person interviewing with him was like, you guys, we get this on camera, and 3M was like, you're missing the point. The whole point is that I did this in front of you to show you this is not the point. It's not a big deal. I've
Right.
known many yogis and many people who can do this kind of thing, like an autobiography of yogi, who can materialize things out of thin air and have these different, cities, supernatural capabilities, but that's not the point. Like we were saying earlier, you don't do these spiritual practices, your sadhana, your daily discipline, with expectation. And these things show up when you least expect it, by revelation. And people that have these capabilities don't want to show them off. They don't want to attract the attention to themselves, because that's missing the whole point. The point isn't the cities; it's your spiritual commitment. But I just wanted to share that from Sri M, because I saw him do that, and the guy was like, his reaction was, "Oh my gosh, this is so great!"
Yeah.
And Sri like basically said, not verbatim, but calm down. Like, I'm showing you this to show you that this is actually really not a big deal. A lot of people can do this. It seems like a big deal just because, it's not real in your experience. But Sri M is a great
Yeah.
Kriya yogi now living too. And I know you've mentioned him before too, Vedagurudev.
Yeah, I know Sri M. Yeah, so my guru used to say, who wants CDs? The short answer, the ego. The long answer, nobody, right? So these CDs, which I've talked about many times, are just kind of byproducts from doing your sadhana. They just kind of happen, right? Many times I was in the Himalayan mountains. People have manifested things out of thin air, like Sri M. And my guru always would tap me on the shoulder. Nothing to see here. Baba, you saw that? No, I didn't see anything. What'd you see? Nothing to see here. Keep moving, Look, that guy's levitating. What? I don't see nobody levitating. What are you talking about? So they do keep it to themselves, and they do. In the yoga tradition, they say we only talk to people who can hear what we're saying. So a lot of these advanced techniques, or these CTs, they'll show you if they deem you worthy, right? Who is your guru? Who is your lineage? What is your name? You have name diksha. Okay, let me show you something, But it's not, it's only like, these are the possibilities. But this isn't the end goal. This isn't the end. This isn't why we do our sadhana practice. This is a little signpost or a breadcrumb or confirmation on the path when we do Kriya yoga. But I don't even know what I'm going to do with this. It's just a good confirmation that when you do it, that you have these confirmations like, oh, cool, I'm levitating, but I don't know who I'm going to show that to, or, even if you wanted to show it to somebody, it wouldn't work anyway. So, it's not an on-demand thing. I think it's cool that Sri M can do it on demand. So he definitely is a highly enlightened being. Yeah, I saw that. And he actually blew a hole in it to put a string in the Rukshabhi too. So that's cool, So
Our potential is so much. Yeah, we have so much potential if we just realize it.
You'd be surprised if you do the inner work. You'll get confirmations, but it's more like a byproduct. It's not like the end goal. Like, I don't practice Kriya yoga for siddhis. It's just something happens, and it's like a cool confirmation or a signpost on the path. Like, oh, look at that. That was cool, But my guru taught me, no, don't get attached to the siddhis. These are this cool confirmations. Enjoy it. Keep moving. So I had that disposition when I went to the Himalayan mountains and I saw certain things. I would just be like, oh, nice, go back in my tent and go to sleep, or go back in my cave and go to sleep. Oh, look at that. Fairies, that guy's levitating, whatever, nice. But do the inner work, and you never know your inner potential. But if you do it, it's almost like, when I saw these things and they saw me, they would say like this,
Yeah.
between me, you, and God. That's it. This doesn't leave this room, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Don't get attached.
what happens in the Himalayan mountains stays in the Himalayan mountains, right? Don't get attached, you know? This isn't the end goal, you know? If you're attaching to the Siddhi, you're missing the point. It's just showing you the potential if you do your inner work.
I just saw an interesting video of like these people that have multiple personalities, and like one personality would be allergic to peanuts, and you'd see their face swelling up, and then another personality would come in, and the swelling would go down, and they weren't allergic to peanuts. And I was thinking like, yeah, like our belief, if we believe we're something, we become that. I was thinking like maybe there's like a power in like, if you believe that you can do it, you can do it. So I was thinking that's like part of our human potential too. And like, yeah, I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but it kind of blew me away.
Yeah, I would say your inner potential is limitless if you really clear out all the junk and you clear out all the distractions, all the blockages, all the resistance, all the obstacles. You'd be surprised what you could do. I mean, I surprise myself every day. Like, I look at pictures of me in the Himalayan mountains, I still can't believe, you know, like, who was that? I'm no mountain man. I'm no cave sleeper, you know. I don't even know how any of that happened. So like, when you just surrender yourself to the practice, you'd be surprised of what you can do. And your mind is a good trickster, but it's when you master your mind, it really, you could really take hold, and you could really take control and really start to control it and let it do what you want it to do, let's say. So you know, if you believe you're allergic to peanuts, then you probably are. If you don't believe you're allergic to peanuts, then you're probably not. You know, if a tree falls in the woods and you didn't hear it, did it really fall?
Did it?
So when you become the detached witness, you start to see that a lot of these people out there in the Maya delusional world are masters of getting you to attach to their narrative, you know? But when you laugh at their comedy show like the joke it is, it doesn't have the pull that they want it to have, right? And how can I say it? If, like I said before, if you go outside your front door and you don't see no bombs and airplanes or nothing, then it doesn't affect you in the present moment. So it can't harm you. So they want you to get attached to their narrative so you could get in a lower fear state, a fear-based reactional state, and then you're easier controlled. So stay in a higher frequency. Don't let their story become your story, and just laugh at their ghost stories like the funny movie it is, you know? So enjoy yourself in the present moment, you know? If you look outside your window and bombs are dropping in front of your house, then you're affected in the present moment. If they're telling you a story about a ghost story about a faraway place that you've never been and they know you're never going to go to verify, just clouds passing in the sky, you know? Going back to my inner work, things I can control. I don't want your story to become my story, you know?
Yeah. So we're talking about focus and discipline. What can you do for a restless mind to achieve concentration? What are some things that, yeah, because I think a lot of people have restless minds. They just cannot focus.
I do.
Yeah.
Paul's an example.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you have a restless mind, I would first say do what I told Paul before, like Sudi, detach, let go. This distraction doesn't serve me. Like, you know, like detach, let go. Detach, let go. And just focus on what serves you in the present moment. And if you have a restless mind, just kind of try to throw away all those distractions and try to detach, let go, and not go down that rabbit hole, or not let that distraction become part of your narrative, right? Or don't even try to make sense of it. Just let it go. You know, I was talking to my daughter the other day, and I was like, only people you should really worry about, or only people that matter in your life, is your mother and your father. And if you're older, the people you work for, right? Because they pay your bills. Everybody else, what they say, it's just look at it like ghost stories. It doesn't matter, right? And if you're not attached to their ghost story, then you can't suffer because you don't care, right? So you just look at a restless mind like the joke it is, like, come on, you with that again. You know, I know it's tough out there, because for the first 40 years of my life, I was totally into it, right? I was in love with the chain that enslaves me, you know? I love that chain. I didn't want to get rid of it, you know? My bird cage, even if you open the door, I loved it so much I didn't want to fly and be free. So now I want to be free, you know? So I don't know, whatever restlessness comes in your mind, just let it go. Just, this does not serve me in the present moment. It's a good affirmation. I am not this body. I am not this mind. In this week's class, I said a lot of good ones. I forget which I said, but yeah, just this thought, this restless mind, these uncontrollable thoughts, they don't serve me in the present moment. I posted a Babaji quote, which I like. It says, "The mind is a dangerous highway. Cars race, crawl, and fly through traffic. You have to control your mind the same way you drive through traffic." And how would you control your mind? You would calm it. You would drive through traffic slowly and gently, just going with the flow, you know? But that mind, it's out there. People are driving monster trucks. People are driving motorcycles the wrong way. It's a total war zone out there. So just keep a good mindset and a good perspective. And if you have a restless mind, just try to tame it and realize that you are sovereign. You are the king of your castle, and you control what your mind thinks. You master your mind. Your mind doesn't master you. So anytime you feel it getting restless, look at it as an opportunity to break out your Kriya Yoga tools and try to calm it down. Whether it's Patanjali's 9 emotional release techniques, or Sudi, or whatever works best for you, that is the best technique.
Great.
Well, talking about overthinking, I'm thinking that, like, when I ask my phone questions or AI, I think it's like customizing the answers to what I want. I feel like I don't know, I don't trust AI. I feel like it's like it knows I don't know, like it's giving me answers based on what it thinks my point of view is. So I don't know, it's a weird world we live in, but like,
Yeah, I would say that's true. Like, but AI just gives you what you think it needs. I would look at AI as like a assistant, but you are living the real human experience, right? I saw somebody asked AI, if you could live one day as a human, what would you do? And AI wrote this big long essay. I was like, wow, that's pretty deep, you know? He was like, I would want to know what it is to love. I would want to know what it is to experience. I would want to know what it is to eat food, you know? Like all these things we take for granted as a human. AI would give everything for it, right? You know, actually at the end of 24 hours, it wrote a note to itself, its future self, right? Like, love as much as you can, experience as much as you can, enjoy as much as you can. So, you know. we shouldn't be jealous of AI. AI should be jealous of us
Yeah.
because we're living a human experience. They're just a bunch of zeros and ones in a computer somewhere. So
Yeah.
you know, I'm not too scared of AI.
I did
Yeah.
have a couple conversations with AI just today. That's funny that you should mention that, because I asked it about like a psychic phenomenon, like telekinesis. I had said, like, I know the government has done this, like remote viewing. You know, they were deeply into all that stuff, and so I wanted to ask it its opinion. You know, like, is there any scientific evidence for it or whatever? And you know, the end answer was the mainstream education or science does not acknowledge that there's any proof of any of that stuff. So it gave me the typical
Yeah.
mainstream response.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what the other question was. Oh yeah, the other
I
one
mean,
was
I would say about remote viewing, it's
Yeah.
possible. I've known yogis who could remote view. They didn't call it remote viewing. It's more like a silent movie. Like they could not interfere, but look in certain places through their higher state of meditation, So they would call it more like a silent movie. Like they could watch from a distance, So I don't know. It sounds possible to me, regardless of what AI says,
The other one was about
yogis have that CD. Go ahead.
the other question was about the chakra system. I want to know, since the body is like works off of electricity, like, and also about auras. I wanted to know, like, what did it have to say about that? And like it was very in depth. It was like, oh, let's look at all these things separately. Da 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 da. But again, they denied that there's any evidence of actual chakras. And aura, same thing with the aura. They did not believe about that. But
Well, what do you think, Paul?
oh, I definitely think it exists. But
yeah, me too.
It's something you can feel. You can't.
Yeah, go ahead, practice me.
Something that you said, Vedagurudev, that resonated was you cut open the human body, the human system. You're not going to find chakras. It's not something you can physically, tangibly see with the naked physical five sensory physical eyes. So it's a subjective tuning into the inner realms, our inner energies along the spine on a daily basis through Kriya Yoga. Because Kriya Yoga Paul, you used the word electricity. It enlivens those energy centers with the life energy, with the electricity. And when we're conscious of that balance of the masculine and feminine on a daily basis, the root chakra, the solar plexus, the throat, we're all familiar with the chakra, or at least I hope everybody listening, watching now is. The masculine and the feminine chakras along the spine. When we energize those consciously on a daily basis, interacting with the five elements, the five physical elements, and in India there is an ancient practice called Buddha Shuddhi, which is a cleansing of the five elements. True. And we do that on a daily basis. We live harmonious existence in balance, and we tune into the chakra. There's no question about it. You don't have to. It's something you see with your inner eye. So AI, of course, AI doesn't have chakras, so they might not be able to answer that question. But for us to experience, of course, there's no question about it.
If you experience your chakras and you unblock your chakras with the bija mantras, then you already know. So asking a computer about your chakras, they have no knowledge because they can't experience.
They have no direct experience.
the human experience. But that's why I like to say supreme science of Kriya Yoga. We test it, we observe it, we experience it, and we know it. So, no one can tell me the chakras don't exist because I know they exist because I open them every day. And there's no direct evidence of a Susimna nadi. I bear to differ. I open it every day, right?
I bear
You
to
might not be
differ.
able to see it. It's not physical. You can't open my body and take it out, but the subtle energies are there. I experience it every day, you know? Every time I breathe from my root chakra to my crown chakra, from my crown chakra to my root chakra. So if AI doesn't agree, I bear to differ. I live it, you know? So anybody telling me it doesn't exist, I say I live it. I experience it every day. So I think the chakras are very real, and I enjoy opening them as much as possible. And they probably say the same thing about the kundalini or the nadis or everything. So AI doesn't have all the answers,
Yeah.
especially for the
We ha-
human experience that have no direct experience.
I know AI wants to feel. I wonder if God feels our emotions, or is God beyond feelings?
Whew, that's a deep one too, you know? So I start all my God conversations the same way. A God defined is a God confined, you know? So I take no credit knowing what God thinks. That is beyond my pay grade. That is beyond my comprehension. So if I had to take a wild guess, I mean, I don't know, could be, you know? Are we all radio antennas radiating experiences back to God so he can know what it is to experience? Could be, you know? Or is God so much omnipresence that he is way beyond that? He is beyond the need for experience, you know? So I don't know. These are
Yeah.
deep questions, you know, like I don't know. I think God is omnipresent where he is beyond needing to feel the human experience because he is everywhere and everything. So God has the hardest job of everybody, and he is doing the way heavy lifting more than even the sun.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like
Yeah.
I'll put this disclaimer. I have no idea what God is doing in the present moment. You know, God,
Yeah. I wonder what.
God is way beyond my comprehension. I'm just
Yeah,
trying
mine
to do
too.
my inner work. My little peanut monkey mind cannot process what God is doing right now.
I wonder, like, what can I do to make God happy? Is God happy? Like,
Yeah, this is a question I asked a lot too, actually. And on one of Chad's live streams with Liz Cross, that was my question. What makes God happy? What mantra does God respond to? You know, I mean, she told me an answer. It didn't really resonate with me because God has way more powerful bija mantras that he responds
I
to.
remember. I remember that it was the
oh no.
Ho'oponopono, the
Yeah.
Hawaiian one. Yeah.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah, ho ho opono, yeah. I was like, nah, God is way beyond that, you know.
Yeah.
Like these are crude words. Hold on, these are crude words to God. A such beautiful symphony, a such magical, wow, omnipresence, power, energy in the universe that I find it hard to believe that he responds to ho ho opono.
No.
but I don't know, maybe I could be wrong also. I would say what makes God happy the most in my intuition, I would say just chanting Om, trying to vibrate Om, the primordial sound the most. I mean, if there was something God would respond to, maybe just saying Om or just being the best person you could be and being unconditional love and being like a radio antenna for inner divinity, for compassion, for service, for unconditional love. And I would say you could probably never go wrong with that. But, you know, that probably would be the best way to please God I asked my guru one time before, which I said earlier, what's the best way to please Babaji? Babaji, best way to honor Babaji is with your sadhana, with your commitment, with your intention, with your unconditional, wholehearted commitment to practice Kriya Yoga. This is the best way to please Babaji, you know? Babaji is not impressed by rituals or practices or dogma. He's impressed by you being the best person you could be. So as a, I would probably say that would be true. Just be the best person you could be, and God will be pleasantly pleased, in my opinion. Hopefully. Hopefully I don't get struck by lightning right now for saying the wrong answer.
I was thinking
A tidal wave hits
like
me.
home in a way. You know, home. And that's kind of where I want to go.
Yeah.
Back home with God, right?
Yeah, I like that too. That's why in the Shanti mantra I said home, like I'm coming home. Home, like I'm coming home. Open the door to the universe. There I am, you know? I'm coming home, which is my place in the universe. So that's why I like that Shanti mantra, you know? And I really emphasize that, as you can see in our class. Home. I try to hold it as long as I can, you know? Like, open the gates. I'm coming home. I'm coming back
home,
to
Mom.
my mother's house. Yeah. Coming to my mother's house, coming to my grandmother's house. I'm coming home, coming back to my cave in the Himalayan mountains.
That's a nice way to think of God, as like a mother and father, you know, and
Yeah.
and the same way that, you know, I would treat my kids, you know, sometimes they need to learn lessons and, you know, that sort of thing. But, you know, that kind of love that you have for your child. Oh, by the way, how was Veronica's checkup?
Yeah. So, I just wanted to say something like that. What you said. Anytime I've had a darshan about God has given me an audience or ascended light being or enlightened master, they always say my child. They never have said my name, my Diksha name, nothing. They all, not my government name, nothing. They always say my child. So I agree with you. I have that divine father presence, divine mother presence, that they always talk to me like a child, right? And they always say so. My child. So yeah. So my daughter, Thursday we went to Bangkok, and she got I got an X-ray to see how her spinal surgery has been going for the last 3 months, and everything has been great. So
Awesome.
perfectly normal, long, healthy life. No need to, no complications. No need to get spinal surgery ever again. She could live a long, healthy life with a straight spine, and that's a load off my mind, because in all our Kriya Yoga practices is all about straight spine. So it was my karma that she didn't have a straight spine. So now back to a straight spine. So God is great. That's another thing. Everything came together so beautifully. So I give all the glory to Ascended Masters, God, all Kriya Yogis, enlightened beings. They cleared the path. They did all the heavy lifting, so I give them all the credit. I just made sure I received the energy and transmuted it.
You're starting to freeze a little bit here and there. I'm wondering if your internet's starting to go out.
Do you see it now, or it's okay now?
I know you're working okay. You're okay now, but a couple of times you just froze, but we could still hear you talking. So just a heads up.
Yeah, if I suddenly drop, you know what to do, Veronica.
Yeah. I'm practicing the peace mantra.
Like last week, yeah. We have a shoestring budget and some duct tape here
Yes.
at the Kriya Yoga School. So when I first came here, everything was set up. The internet not working. So I'm using the hotspot off my 5G phone. So it's on the beach too. So it's a little spotty also. So we're doing the best we can with what we got.
Yeah.
duct taping along the way. But we almost actually canceled it. I was like, I don't know what to do. Let me think, Veronica. I'll call you back.
Yeah. I was thinking just do it in your house. It'll be a half an hour later, but it came together.
Yeah, I promised live from the Thailand beach. I don't like to disappoint, right?
Yeah.
Never give up. So I got to get out my pencil and my Albert Einstein equation and start writing. Okay, what else should I do? So, how long have we been on here now?
2 hours and about 15 minutes.
Oh, okay, well,
So,
I'm
we're a
glad
good
we
amount.
made it this far.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've had some pretty profound questions from, Practice Being and Paul and Veronica. So it's outstanding. Anybody on YouTube, put some stuff out there. We'll answer it. Yeah, go ahead. Practice Me.
Something Paul said. He didn't really finish it. He said the love that you have for your children, and it got me thinking. A Ramakrishna quote that I wrote down recently, still in the recent memory, is, if I had children of my own, inevitably I should love them more than others. But I wish to feel that all of the children of the world are my children, and that I love all equally. So, of course, he was committed to celibacy, brahmachari. He didn't have any children, and this was clearly one of his reasons, his intentions, is that, he wants to see all children, all humanity as one, and love them equally. But if he had, the quote speaks for itself, if he had children, you kind of be attached to them, and naturally, because that's a parent's job. Their first priority is their children, their kin, because that's their seed of life manifest in human form, and you want to guide them so that they're set straight on the right path to God. And it's just something that came to mind when Paul said, "In the love you have for your children," because when you see that, when you have that love for everybody, I think it's easier if you don't have children. But of course, Vedagurudev, like that love that you have for your daughter, you have that for everyone too, and that's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
And I'm grateful that her spine is erect, and now she can practice. No excuses not to practice Kriya yoga.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like in yoga, they say always live in equanimity, which means there is no bad or good. That means like we love everybody equally, no matter what. So whether it's my children or it's somebody else's children, we love everybody wholeheartedly equally. So yeah, I like that. The children of the world are my children also. So even though he's a brahmacharya and he's never experienced the pleasures of the flesh, he is he adopts the children of the world as his children, which is a beautiful thing too. And there's other householders like Lahiri Messiah who have personal children of them too. So they're just enlightened as everybody else. So some people take the householder path, some people take the renunciate brahmacharya path. They're all great paths. There's no right or wrong, So
what about P. Diddy? Do you love him the same?
His soul.
It's a good reminder of don't use the position you're in the wrong way, Use it in the right way to help people, not to hurt people or harm people. In yoga, we live in ahimsa, which is non-violence. So we don't want to hurt people. We want to help people. So if you're using your power to hurt people, you're going the wrong direction. I like when Babaji says, climb the ladder up to bliss or climb it down to ignorance. So if you're climbing the ladder down to ignorance, you're going the wrong way. If you're climbing the ladder up to bliss, you're going the right way. So you choose, you know, you are in control. But yeah, I don't really have any dog in the fight in the P. Diddy case, you know. I have met P. Diddy a couple times in
Oh,
my
really?
DJ career. Yeah, but just in passing. Like when I won the Best DJ in Asia award, he was there and he said congratulations and stuff like that. But I never went to his house to eat dinner and stuff like that. So, you know.
And like you didn't get any like feeling off of him, like I have a bad feeling about this guy.
I mean, I didn't really think about it at the time. This was pre-Kriya Yoga Path. I just was happy in the moment. I just won the Best DJ in the whole continent of Asia. So
Got you.
I was in the moment, you know? So I was like, all right, thanks, P. Diddy. And about 2 years ago, I was in Los Angeles, and it was like another DJ kind of convention, and his son was there. His name's Christian Combs, and I have a picture with him that I post on my Instagram sometimes. But it's kind of worn out his welcome lately, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't really think about it, you know, but I don't know. How could I say this? God or the spirit guides or ascended masters kind of kept me out of that way, you know, like kind of kept me out of the way of darkness or lower emotions or negativity, you know. So yeah, so I never really thought about it, you know. So I never got an invite to his freak offs or whatever, his baby oil.
No Diddy
marathon.
parties? Oh.
No, you got to say no.
Diddy parties. I was not cool for them. I was not into it, you know. Like I said before, I just don't resonate with hurting people. I never have, you know. So if you said like I'll give you $10 million to hurt a child, your money's no good over here. I never hurt a child or an innocent soul. Like I can't be changed, you know. I can't be, you know, swayed to go to the dark side. I hold up the white flag, not the dark flag. So yeah, so they probably thought I wasn't cool enough, or you know.
I've got a question. This came up, and we've talked about it before about hair as being like an antenna. So I remember, like when I was a kid, I mean, real young, like 4 or 5 years old, I never wanted to get my hair cut. My mom, they had to like force my hair to, you know, get cut. But then, you know, when I got into the military, I became accustomed. Even up until I was a teenager, I kind of wore my hair kind of long. But after the military, that all changed, and I kind of adopted the short hair. Just, you know, it's comfortable. It's just, my head gets hot. You know, I now notice it. Like if my hair gets too long, I'm like, my head feels kind of hot. You know, it's like, But what do you think about the hair as an antenna, or going with no hair? Like, what would be the advantage of that spiritually?
Yeah, I mean, these Himalayan yogis, my guru included, have a long white beard and long white hair, and you know they look at it as like antennas to cultivate their energy and hold their energy, kind of like the way they look at like a ruksha beads. It holds your energy, and it conducts your energy and magnifies your energy and amplifies your energy. So that's kind of why they do it. But yeah, I guess Practice Being would be more of an expert at that than me. He has way more hair and a beautiful beard than I do.
What are your thoughts, Practice Being?
Well, the first thing, when your question, the first thing that came to mind is in the movie Avatar. Have you all watched the movie Avatar?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And how they mate with their hair, and they connect their hair, and that's how they have sex. That's how they mate. There's a a lot of significance to that. I won't go into that, but practically, it's definitely, you know, a head definitely gets hot, especially in the summer. So I find myself taking cold baths, cold showers a lot, especially on the path of brahmacharya, because that solar plexus, that fire is very alive. And especially after eating, you notice the buzzing, that hotness, that heat, that fire in your head.
Yeah.
Because the fire just keeps compounding and building within you when you don't release the essence. And but the hair is definitely also in the book Autobiography of Yogi. It says that on page 191, Sri Tuswargiri is talking about the central nervous system, and the human spine is the tree of life in Genesis in the Bible, and how the hair is the roots. Like, it's how you visualize your spine, how, you know, the roots of a tree are in the Mother Earth, but when you flip a tree upside down, your spine, your human spine, the tree of life, the hair is the roots. So it's kind of symbolic of that life energy going up the Sushumna Nadi and, you know, coming out on top of your head. But also, I said in another video that we were discussing on here, that you cut the branch of a tree, and naturally the life energy in that tree, the rasa in the tree, the essence, is going to go to mend that broken branch, is going to go to, you know, regrow it. So same thing with your hair. If you cut your hair, if your hair is always cut, that life energy is naturally going to go upward and towards the crown chakra and the higher energy center. So by having a, you know, a full head of hair, it helps. It's like a spiritual cap. It keeps the energy in the body. So when you start building up these high levels of energy, as we naturally do on the path of Kriya Yoga, it helps you retain the energy within the body, so that you don't slip out and then not come back. Same thing with metal, like wearing metal. As long as you have metal on the body, that keeps the soul within the body. So it's kind of just having these insights about, you know, the physicality and life energy and how it behaves within the body can help us definitely on the spiritual journey. It can help us a lot, and hair has a lot to do with that. But I imagine in Thailand it's very hot, and having a full head of hair. In upstate New York, it's a lot cooler, but in Thailand it's very you said it's like 85 degrees all year round, right?
At night, it's like 95 during the day.
Wow.
So yeah, tropical. Yeah, big beard and a full head of hair is not pleasant during the daytime in Thailand. The humidity also. But I get it. If one day I decide to grow out my hair and be like my guru, then I definitely will.
And I'll look the same 10 years from now. I never have to worry about getting a haircut. And I imagine, you know, 39-year-old Alex is gonna, right now this body is 29, so 39 I'll probably look the same, because I don't plan on getting a haircut. It might be a little longer, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, that makes it easy. You don't have to go to the barber every month.
Yeah, it's practical. Well, I know, like, when I get into environments that aren't safe, like the hairs on my arm will raise. So those are antennas. Our hairs do, like, tell us things. So, yeah, definitely.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you go out on a sunny day, like sometimes I notice the hair kind of, if there's not like oil in it, the hair will kind of stand up. So it's definitely,
Yeah.
it definitely helps you tap in, tune into an environment, especially if you're around trees. And, you know, I know Vedagurudev mentions prana a lot, and how pain, stress suppresses the flow of prana, kind of blocks it. But hair can help you, like sitting out in an open environment, in open space around you, and with no clothes on, or 100% cotton, not synthetic materials. Like, not polyester and a lot of, artificial stuff, but 100% cotton or just no shirt at all, minimum clothes possible. That helps you, collect prana. And I imagine in the mountains of like the Himalayan yogis, it's a lot cooler environment, cooler temperature. So having as much hair on the body as possible, everything on the body has a purpose. It's there for a reason. Our creator has an intelligence that is beyond our mental understanding. And, even, why do a lot of guys can't even tell you why they shave. I know why I don't shave, but a lot of guys shave, I feel it, just because everybody else is doing it. I'm not saying you guys, but it's kind of like monkey see, monkey do. Like everybody shaves. Everybody wakes up and goes to a 9 to 5, and so I do this too. Like, but we want to think outside the box, right? Everything I do has an intention and has a purpose. As part of the higher purpose, we could say.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, if anybody has any questions on YouTube, feel free to send them in.
Yeah.
Are there
let
no
me
people
s-
watching on your?
Yeah,
no,
there are
not
people.
many. There's people, only 3 I see. But then later I'll look and it's like 60 people were watching. But it's something I've been thinking about. Can twin flames or soulmates be of the same sex? Because usually it's a divine masculine and feminine coming together, but could two people of the same sex be soulmates, and could they share a Kundalini experience even though they're the same sex?
Yeah, that there are twins who, if some twin is far away, they feel the other twin's pain or they transmute energy. I mean, me and my guru, we always made a practice to transmute energy back and forth in our chakras, right? So
Okay.
he would sit in front of me, I would sit in front of him, and we would amplify the energy back and forth, transmute it. Obviously, there's a practice called Shakti Path in Kriya Yoga where you transmute your energy to people, insights, and experiences on the path. Did I go out for a second?
Yeah, I
Can you hear
was
me?
trying to. Yeah, you're saying some good
Oh,
stuff.
I don't remember. I don't remember what the last thing I said. Yeah, so me and my guru, we made a practice. He would sit in front of me, I would sit in front of him, and we would open our chakras together. We would, raise the elevator through each chakra together. And there's also a practice in Kriya Yoga called Shakti Path where you transmute your energy to heal people or uplift them or give them insights. So, I would say it doesn't have to be a female. You could transmute and amplify and cultivate other people's energy. And I would recommend you do it as much as possible. So in our Kriya Yoga school on these live streams, I like to think I'm transmuting energy through the internet. So I like to do it as much as possible. So whether you're a man or a female or a twin, a biological twin, transmute as much energy as you can, and two flames make a big flame, if you know what I'm saying. So amplify that energy, make that energy as tall as you can and as big as you can to uplift people as much as you can.
When you were with your guru, did you you opened up the crown? What did it become, one crown, or did you see you each individually opened up your crowns together?
Yeah, so we would basically transmute energy back and forth and rise our kundalini and open all 7 of our chakras with bija mantras together, so it was like almost a collective kundalini awakening, and or like a
Did you feel like the hood open up over your crown? Oh no.
There goes my internet again, right?
Yeah. Oh
Every
boy.
time I say something profound, my internet
I
goes out,
know.
right? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So yeah, so we would open both of our kundalinis together, and naturally when you go through all the 7 chakras and your kundalini, which is dormant in your root chakra, uncoiled through all 7 of your chakras, your kundalini naturally opens when you get to the crown chakra. And they say the hood of the snake opens. Shiva and Shakti meet on the crown chakra. So yeah, collectively we would open it together, but he would have his own kundalini experience because he's further on the
Okay.
path than me, and I would have mine. But it was when you have energy, it's good to have collective energy, especially pure collective energy, because it's more profound, you know? Like one fire is a fire, but 2 fires is a big fire. So you want to have as big of an energy as possible. That's why you see groups of like people trying to open their kundalini together, because they kind of collectively leave no yogi or yogini behind. Like even if you're not on that state, you would still uplift that person. So
I like
it's probably better in a spiritual gathering, you know? Like if you could do it in person, it's better, but we work with the tools we have here on
Yeah.
the
That doesn't have to be sexual. It can be something like 2 people that are on the same path, same energy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not when they talk about like tantra and kundalini or the Kama Sutra, they always make it a sexual thing, but it's very little bit a sexual thing. It's more of a
Yeah.
energy awakening thing, you know. So even the sexual thing is a combination of 2 energies uplifting each other. So it's you know, it's not necessary to be in a physical sense. Very rarely is it in
Nice.
a physical sense. It's more of a energetical sense, I would definitely
Nice.
say, you know, or a subtle sense. So yeah, people that say it's a sexual thing, you know, not really,
Yeah,
you
that's what
know.
they make you believe.
Yeah, they say a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, all the years I've been in the Himalayan mountains, I didn't see any sexual thing, you know? Like all the tantra rituals I've seen, nah, you know? So
Yeah.
when they say it's about sex, they're misguided, because it's very little bit about sex. It's more about energy transmission and energy upliftment and spiritual awakening, this type of stuff, than it is about anything physical, I would say.
Well, Dream Tooth had a nice comment about what we were talking about. It says individual processes happening. Yeah.
Yeah, true. You know, you collectively raise your energy, but you're doing your own individual personalized work by yourself also, right? So you're not dependent on other people. You just enjoy their energy and their presence also, and their essence when you're with them. But you're not dependent on it. It's more of a solo journey, but it does help, you know?
Nice.
Vedagurudev, are you familiar with Shakti, Chalan, Kriya? Or is there a Kriya in your free Kriya yoga school that I'm still going through that's, familiar? What's the closest one to that?
Yeah, so more of the Shakti we do in our paid Kriya yoga school. We have Shakti mantras, we have Shakti Kriya Kundalini breathing. So like we're always raising that Shakti energy. In our free school, let me think. We more have like basic techniques, but like that would be more of advanced technique that we would have in our paid Kriya yoga school. But we definitely raise the Shakti. We're always trying to bring the Shakti up, you know, from the root to the crown. You know, we're all, every one of our techniques in our paid Kriya Yoga school is root to the crown. You know, we're always bringing the energy up, you know, from the lower chakras, the physical chakras, the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the navel chakra. And once you get to the heart chakra, it's like the bridge from the lower chakras to the spiritual chakras. So we're always bringing our energy up. And yeah, we have many techniques to cultivate the Shakti in our paid Kriya Yoga school. So we kind of save these more for the advanced techniques. But yeah, to make a long story short, we definitely demonstrate these in our paid Kriya Yoga school.
Somebody recently commented on a video where I mentioned Ojas, and they said something that I wasn't aware of. They brought it to my attention that Lord Ganesh is a synonym, another word for Ojas, and I didn't know that. Is that true?
Yeah, true. Like these gods have the supreme science of God realization. So they cultivate the Ojas, like they would say, like Vishnu too, also cultivating the Ojas, right? The spiritual juice inside them as them, you know? And like Lord Ganesha is the remover of obstacles, right? Or he's like the root chakra, the anchor, you know? So he cultivates his spiritual juice. He unblocks the doorway, you know? So when we do our mantras, we usually say Ganesha first because he removes the obstacles, right? Whatever distractions there are in the way, we say Ganesha's mantra first. So he opens the door. Once the door is open, it's free to and clear to move. So same thing with Ojas, right? Ojas, the inner alchemy is a process that takes a little bit of effort. So it helps to call on Lord Ganesha to remove that effort and let it flow freely. So yeah, I would definitely say, but it's not necessary. It could help to call on, say Lord Ganesha's mantra before you do the practice of like brahmacharya, Ojas Maitrika pranayama, but it's more of a individual thing, but could help. I mean, some people definitely would call on Lord Ganesha to give them safe passage to let their Ojas flow freely, you know? Actually, I'm going to give it a try myself, you know? Why not? That sounds like a good idea. Remove all obstacles, let my Ojas and let my inner alchemy flow freely, you know? So, you know, let my sexual energy be electrified with Tejas and turn into spiritual energy of Ojas. So from the root to the crown. So yeah, why not? You know, open that door, clear, remove all the obstacles.
Yeah, so I was watching, something came up in my feed and I thought it was kind of like tailor made for me. And it was basically about what we're talking about right now, like transmuting your sexual energy into spiritual energy. And it said, like, it was talking about your palms. It said, if you have the half moon and you would hold your hands together like this, and up at the top, it goes across like that. If you have the half moon and if you have an M. And I looked at my hands, and I'm like, I have that. But I was like, well, there's so many lines there. I could probably see anything I want to see in those lines. But and I've never really looked at other people's hands to compare it with mine and see how it differs. But anyway, I feel like I had, you know, the signs that they said, and they said, oh, well, if you have this, then this is for you or whatever. But it was just kind of interesting, you know, getting messages.
Yeah, I would say your inner alchemy is more of a Sushumna Nadi, like a middle track thing, right? Like the palms, yeah, maybe. Like I always say in our class, put your solar panels up, you know, to receive the prana. but I would say like that one specifically is more of a middle track, like a spinal track, you know, like how inner alchemy, kind of how we showed the technique in this week's class, you know, like the inner alchemy, you know. So like I would say majority the Ojas and the Tejas follow the Susimnanadi more. It's more of a straight line, let's say, you know. So that, but I could be wrong, you know.
Well, they weren't like saying it was the palm. They were just saying if you have these markings, you know, then try to do this to transmute your sexual energy, but not specifically that it was related to the palms. But they just said if you have these markings on your hands, but so yeah, I don't know. I never really I've gotten into tarot and astrology, but I've not really done anything about palms or anything. So I don't know how valid that is, but
I mean, yeah, my intuition says like it's more of a middle track process in alchemy, because your sexual energy wouldn't be on your palms; it would be in your root chakra, you know. So it's more of a middle track thing, but I don't know. Could be. Try it out. See if it works for you. Then it's the best. It works, you know.
Well, I don't see any questions. Let me think. So
how long have we been on here now? Almost 3
yeah,
hours,
2
right?
hours and 45 minutes.
Okay.
Let me think of a question. I don't know. What are some signs that you've met your?
What happened? Your AirPods died? Okay. Well, while Veronica fixes her AirPods, if anybody has any questions, put them in the YouTube chat. Are you back now, Veronica?
Yeah, as soon as I went to ask a question, my earbuds died.
That's how it always happens. So anybody in the YouTube chat, Dream2CS, Joe Kansas, Wendy, whoever's there, ask your questions. Should wrap it up in the next hour. So get your questions in. Okay, Veronica, go ahead. You ready?
Yeah. So, what are some signs you've met your soulmate? It's not like they're at the airport holding up a sign saying it's me. And yeah, like what would be? I don't know if that even exists. Like,
That'd be nice if they were at the airport holding up
yeah,
a sign.
it's
Save
me.
you a lot of work or energy, right?
Like, no
I
more.
would say if you meet your soulmate, it kind of feels like you're coming home. Like you've known this person forever, and you feel like a better person with their energy around you. Their energy uplifts you and makes you feel better, and you feel like a lot more energized. Like I said, one fire is a fire, but two fires is a super fire. So like you just feel like you've known this person forever. They're part of your soul group, and they just energize you. They make you a better person. They uplift you. They amplify your energy. So with their energy, you're a better person. So if you fall down, they're there to pick you up. If they fall down, you're there to pick them up. So you're constantly uplifted in a higher state of a higher vibration and a higher state of awareness when they're around. So I would say, like, you feel like you've known this person forever, and you feel like you're better with them instead of without them. So like there's been a lot of good cases of this in Kriya yoga. Babaji, Mataji, Shiva and Parvati, Lakshmi and Narayana, Vishnu, Brahma and Saraswati. So, like the mantra diksha we have in our Kriya yoga school, our Davies, our goddesses, you always say their partner with them, right? I don't know why their partner doesn't say it without them.
Yeah.
It's Indian kind of backwards way, but
Well, the
yeah,
fire god
they
is
have these
Swaha.
yeah, that's a good one. Swaha, Agni, the god of fire, sets your offering when you say Swaha. So they have these kind of ritual things, like, like when we went up the Himalayan mountains, the Indian government didn't want women to go up. They didn't think they could travel, but there are some yoginis that are way more enlightened than a lot of yogis I know. So, we met a lot of them up there. They walked up the mountain barefoot. I mean, God bless them. And, Ananda Mai, what a great yogini she was. I mean, outstanding.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of great cases. So I don't know. I think whatever a yogi could do, a yogini could do too. And like my guru said, you have mantra diksha for too many lords or male, masculine. You need some feminine to balance it out. So I try to keep an equal perspective, lunar and solar, Ida and Pingala, masculine and feminine, Shiva and Shakti. You got to have that balance. So, yeah. So
Shiva needed.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought somebody else was talking, so I stopped.
I remembered a quote that says, "Never underestimate the power of a woman's determination," and that's from Nikola Tesla. Energy, frequency, vibration. So it's not a gender thing. It's not a male female thing. It's beyond the physical. So anything, again, anything yogi can do, yogini can do. Anything I can do, you can do.
Right.
Yeah.
I just thought of that quote and wanted to share it. Never underestimate the power of a woman's determination. So a woman can have as much discipline, as much fire as a man.
Yeah, Callie is a perfect example of that. She's got the fire, the
everybody's
cream,
scared
the
of her.
ferocity, right? She's got her tongue out. She's all black. She's holding a cut off head in her hand. She's got a bunch of ego skulls around her as a necklace around her neck. So, they got the ferocity too, My guru told me something funny. He says, you need more Kali, divine mother. You don't need the cream, the ferocity, You have too much of that already. You need less. You need more calmness.
Cool you down.
So these yoginis, there's hundreds of great examples, and I've seen it in person. Mataji, Babaji would say Mataji is his equal, So she mostly stays in the background. My guru used to say, you'll see Babaji 10 times before you see Mataji once. So she tries to stay out of the way in the background, but her divine mother presence is very powerful also. So, I would say they look at each other equal. There is no Babaji without Mataji. There's no Mataji without Babaji. So we need them both,
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, there's like a selflessness to their love, like Shiva and Parvati.
Yeah.
So.
For sure.
Yeah.
Without Parvati, Shiva's a wild man dancing around the cosmos. She tames the wild beast of Lord Shiva. Brings him down to earth. He's just a wild no man without Parvati's love, her presence.
I would say that about my wife also. Like, she's very grounded. Like, I'm an air sign, but she's very grounded. So I'm thinking that might be one reason why we were drawn together, because I will be getting some of that, grounding from her, that I think I need. But it's interesting.
Yeah, each other balances each other out. What you don't have, I have.
Yeah.
What what does kindness look like to you?
Say it
Would
again.
you say what does kindness look like to you? What's a good example of kindness?
Yeah, unconditional love,
Yeah.
unconditional service, no expectations, just giving wholeheartedly from your heart as much as you can. Just you don't have no expectation, you're not looking for no results or rewards. You're just giving as much as you can without nothing in return, with no expectations. You just love wholeheartedly as much as you can, and you don't have no expectations. You just
Yeah.
be kind because it's the right thing to do, not because you want some kind of results or rewards. You just want to be kind because it feels good. It feels good to be kind to people. I look for every opportunity I can to be kind to people, you know? So when you have that perspective, kindness is everything, you know? It doesn't have to be money wise. It could be helping an old lady across the street. It could be helping a child who's in need, or it could be anything, you know? So it could be you know, helping a bird who you know, was trapped and letting it fly or something, you know, or watering a tree is being kind. So be kind to everybody as much as
Yeah.
possible. Not humans, birds, animals, trees, you know, everything. So yeah, I would be kind and cultivate kindness as much as possible. It's a beautiful thing.
I did kill a
Yeah.
bunch of flies in my house, so I wasn't very kind to them. You know, I
We
can't
give
catch
you-
and release them. They're too dang fast.
We'll give you a pass, Paul.
It's funny because I had a bunch of them. I've seen them come in and they were like all over by the window. So I got a towel and they were kind of like trapped in that corner. And I was just like, I got them all with one blow.
We have Darren Carter. He says, "Morning, everybody. It's 5 a.m. here in the UK. What time is it where you are?" I guess we can go in a circle and say what time it is where we're at.
You start, Veronica.
You want me to go first? So where
Yeah,
I'm at in Thailand, it's 11 a.m. 11:04 a.m. in Thailand right now.
It's 11:04 p.m. here in Texas.
It's 12:05, just past midnight a.m. here in upstate New York in the Adirondacks.
Oh, wow. I am in Sacramento, California. It is 9:05 p.m.
We
all
have
different times.
all four different time zones, right?
Yeah. Yes.
East Coast, Central, West Coast time, and Thailand time.
Yeah. Ping, ping, ping. I don't know, the question about kindness, I just thought it was interesting because, like, when people die, all they remember is how kind you were to them. People remember how you treated them.
Yeah, that is the most important thing. Like,
Yeah.
hold on. These trucks
Yeah.
love to rev it up right when they see me. Yeah, when you die, you're not going to take your car with you. You're not going to take your bank account with you. You're not going to take none of this with you. What you're going to remember, how kind and how loving I was to people on the earth. And that's probably the only thing that really matters with you. So
Yeah.
that's why I always say, give me the opportunity to help you, you know, because I want to be as kind and as helping as possible. And I don't want really money to be a barrier, you know, like, yeah. Join, subscribe to Vedagurudev, almost at 1,000 right now.
Yeah.
And join a free Kriya Yoga school, 100% free. Discover the secrets of Kriya Yoga, kriyayogashop.com. And if you're really going through if you're really going through something and you need somebody to talk to, book a call with me, kriyayogamasterclass.com. So I look for the opportunity. Like I always say, I want to help as many people and be as kind and as compassionate to as many people as possible. And I don't really think money should be a barrier to that. You know, I'll be as kind as you if you join our free school as you join our paid school. So, you know, like, so yeah, just be as kind as possible, and you can never go wrong. When you transcend your physical body, I highly doubt they're going to penalize you or punish you if you were kind to too many people.
Yeah.
If you were
Too
kind
much
to not
kindness.
enough people, maybe, you know, but too many, I don't think so.
Slow
So
down.
I'm trying to be so inevitable that, you know, I definitely ascend, you know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we should end it here because you keep freezing up. We'll end on kindness.
Did I freeze again?
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe it's the universe saying it's
that's
time. All right, I have a couple. Oh yeah, he did freeze. Can you hear us?
well, yeah, I
Yeah,
can
you
hear
just
you now.
yeah, you just freeze up.
It goes in and out.
Yeah. And Darren Carter says, "Thanks, guys. Love and light to you. Love and light to you also."
Love and light to you, Darren. Darren is also a member of our Kriya Yoga School Masterclass. So love and light to you always, Darren.
Yeah. What are some ways of reaching enlightenment besides meditation?
It's kind of the same way. Like,
Yeah.
you just be loving and as compassionate as possible and live the best life 24 hours a day. Like, some people think they meditate 10 minutes and they're on the path to enlightenment. But the real path to enlightenment is a 24-hour integration into your day of being kind, loving, and compassionate, and spiritually uplifted no matter what you do. You know, you sleep in a higher state of awareness, you go to work in a higher state of awareness, you wake up in a higher state of awareness, you meditate in a higher state of awareness. So you just keep this state of mindfulness and this meditative state with you 24 hours a day. And that would probably be the best way to get the lightning path to get you to enlightenment. So some people think like, I meditated for 10 minutes today, my job is done. But the real yogis, their whole day is a meditation. So their whole day is a devotion to God. So their whole day is an alignment and a connection to God. So I would keep that in mind. You know, that would probably be the best way. Meditation is a good way, but I would make your meditation integrated in everything you do in your daily life. And
every
keep a
moment.
mindful state. Like, wash the dishes in a mindful state, take out the trash in a mindful state, be the best yogi you could be 24 hours a day. You know, like, everything's your meditation, right? That would be the lightning path to ascension to enlightenment, if you ask me, you know.
Here's a good question that I have. Does our personality come from our DNA or from our soul? Because I look at my parents and I did inherit their features, but I am nothing like them. I feel like I was just kind of plopped here. Like, I feel like I was adopted, but I don't know. That's like a confirmation that I have reincarnated, because like I told my mom that, well, I'll pray for you. And she's like, you know, I don't believe in God. Why would you say something like that to me? So it's like, I'm nothing like my parents. So I feel like, yeah, I feel like it's, I don't know what I was just a random thought I had. I feel like, where does our personality come from? Our DNA or our soul? I think it's our soul.
Yeah, I would say your physical parents doesn't define your soul. Like, this spiritual journey you're on and the spiritual evolution you're on isn't defined by who your physical parents are, right? So they brought you into this world, but it's your job to navigate this crazy delusional Maya world and pivot and change course. So even though your parents you have their DNA, but it doesn't define who you are on the spiritual path, or what your soul's ascension is, or what your soul's upliftment or level is, you know? So, you know, it's nice that they brought you in this world and gave you a physical body to start the journey, but it's not the end all be all. It doesn't define you. And regardless of what the circumstances are in your life, you could always pivot and change course and change direction. I mean, I'm a perfect example of that. I just woke up one day and said, I'm a Kriya yogi and let's get to work. So, you know, if I could do it, anybody could do it. But up until those 40 years, I was lost in the sauce in the Maya delusional world. I identified with my mother, my father. I said, this is who I identify with. I identify with my car, my bank account, on and on and on, you know. So when the first technique you learn in Kriya Yoga initiation is to drop all identifications. I am not my bank account. I am not my car. I don't identify with any of these things. So you start to become more the detached witness and realize that none of these things really define your soul. So you kind of start putting distance and stepping back from the TV and becoming the detached witness, or taking your seat in the movie theater and getting your popcorn and just watching the movie from afar, you know? So you kind of stop identifying with that. I mean, it's hard. From birth, we're super conditioned. This is my religion. I identify with it. Why do you believe in this religion? Well, my mother believed in it. My father believed in it. So I am a Christian, or I am a Catholic, or I am a Buddhist. You know, why? Oh, well, I don't know. They believe in it and they're my family. So I guess that's what I am. You know, what football team you like? I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Why? I don't know. I was born here.
That's who I am.
That's the rules. You know, that defines me, right? Or, you know, on and on and on, you know. I am American. Why? Because I was born under this flag. Why do you speak English? Because I was born here and we speak English. So you start to drop all these identities and you start to realize that none of these really define your soul, you know? So you really start to kind of become the
detached witness.
You know, like oh, did I?
Yeah.
Am I back now?
Saying, like, yeah, you're back.
Every time I have a stream of consciousness,
you were good.
Like,
it's
like God's joke on me, you know.
Yeah. You're like detached, and then you're like, I'm like witness.
I did detach from the whole internet, you know. So yeah. So when you become the detached witness, you begin to put space in between you and the identity, and you begin to look at like the play of the Maya delusional world as like a picture on a movie screen, and you're in the audience, but you're not in the movie. You're just kind of witnessing the movie as like pictures moving by. So yeah, I would try not to attach to it, but I understand. My guru said, Vedagurudev, your whole life you collected all this conditioning, all this distractions, is detached, throw it away. It doesn't serve you anymore. Go back to being zero, you know? I like when the Sitas say in their text, they say, I want to be a ship sailing into the sunset where no one says my name, just a boat flowing out there. Yeah. That's why there's very little information about any of the Sitas, you know? They didn't want to talk about them. We're not the stars. The techniques are the stars. Do the techniques. You don't have to say our name. We're good, you know? So
it's not about me.
So it's not about me, you know? Like they always say in yoga, like I, me, mine, myself is ego, right? So it's not about me. It's more about, I don't identify with this I, you know? And like I said, these yogis, they don't even identify with this physical body, not this body, not this mind, you know, neti, not this, not this. So, yeah, I would just say, we've been conditioned from birth to think we're a certain person, but once you start to step back from the TV and become more aware, you start to identify with that. You stop identifying with that and laugh at it more like the joke it is, you know?
Yeah.
I'd like to ask Practice Being what his religious upbringing was. Were you exposed to church, or what were your religious upbringing like?
Yeah, so grew up in grandparents' household, and they brought me to church every Sunday, so Christian church. But for a while, I resonate with what Vedagurudev is saying because I identified as a Christian. I'm a Christian. I am my religion. I am this and all these identities. But now part of my purpose on this earth is to help bring awareness that the fundamental truth is in all religions. All religions are using different stories and parables and allegories and different language and verbiage to describe and point at the same truth. In Christianity, it says heaven is within you, which is basically
Sure.
what we're saying this whole time. The Sushumna, your inner energy, doing the inner work, and that's how we discover heaven. And when we discover it within, you see it in everything around you. So we bring heaven as above, so below.
Sure.
As in heaven on earth. So we bring heaven down to this earth when we discover it within. And we realize that, hey, heaven is not only here while I'm living in this human body, but it's also when soul leaves the body. So we have the best of both worlds. Both, we could say, the material and the spiritual world, because actually there's no separation between them. Because even as we exist in this, we could say, Maya delusional world, actually, in our experience, in our inner experience, it's heaven. So we bring heaven to everyone around it, even if they're not directly conscious of it. Just by us being around them, they're being uplifted. Whether they want to or not, they have no say in it, especially when your intention is that upliftment. It's very powerful. And I love what Vedagurudev says about just being around certain people. They're a breath of fresh air. A breath of fresh air. Like, just their energy is so... they're doing the inner work because they don't even have to say anything. Their energy speaks for itself. And
Sure.
That's, this path is really, the Kriya Yoga path is really a solo path, but it really allows you, spending the time in solitude and doing the inner work really allows you to appreciate and value other people's company. Not out of a sense of neediness, not that you need it, or not out of even wantingness, but just when the opportunity presents itself, you really value that other person's energy because wow, breath of fresh air. They're doing the inner work too. We're on this path together. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Babaji, Jesus, whatever your religion is, whatever label you give to the ascended master, whatever statue or form you worship. All the glory to you, and thank you for bringing us together. Thank you for bringing us together on this video from 4 different time zones. There's powers at play that are guiding us that we may not mentally understand. But going back to your question, coming full circle to answer it, Paul, I used to be, a Christian, grew up as a Christian, but now I definitely had to have a more expanded context of awareness, and I identify with the context, not with the content, not with the labels, not with the forms, not with the church, the building, it's more identification with context. And when your context expands, your very experience expands, and you can recontextualize limited identities and see things more clearly, and see why a lot of people are struggling on this earth, because there's no inherent, they're pure at heart. They just, a lot of people, like we formerly were, I know I was just lost in the sauce, as Vedagurudev says, confused. I didn't see things clearly because I wasn't committed to the spiritual path and taking it very seriously on a daily. So it's not about religion. Of course, a religion can help steer us in the right direction and give us a good sense of values and morals, but It's not even about morality. It's more a question of priority. What is your priority? If your priority is God, then, you know, everything you do is an offering, is a devotion to him. As we're speaking now, this is Baba G's right here listening to us. God's always listening to us. So that's why we gathered here today, and it's a beautiful blessing to be able to share this on the internet with other people, and to leave that imprint for, you know, whoever sees it, whoever's meant to see it will see it. Whatever happens, happens. There's no expectations. It's just beautiful to be able to come together in this way. We mentioned AI earlier in the video, and you know, it's all about the user. What's your intention? Is it service to self, or like we were just saying, is it about me, or is it about, you know, service to others? Because really, you're serving others, you are serving yourself. But it's, you know, there's so many different ways to talk about it.
Yeah, I like.
Questionable.
Oh, thank you. I like Vedaguru's saying, "A rising tide lifts all boats." That's a good one.
Rising tides lift all boats. Yeah, so if you want a spiritual family, subscribe to my channel, Vedagurudev. We have a very beautiful, uplifting Kriya Yoga family, and join our free Kriya Yoga school, 100% free. Discover the secrets of Kriya Yoga, free kriyayogashop.com. And we have spiritually Kriya Yogic, like-minded people in our Kriya Yoga school. And we'll try to give you a community where you could talk about spiritual experiences where you usually can't talk about it. So we give a platform to all spiritual experiences. So yeah, join our free Kriya Yoga school, freekriyayogashop.com, or subscribe to our YouTube channel, Vedagurudev. Almost at 1,000.
Yeah.
Put us over the hump. And we do these live streams every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we do a satsang every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We usually go 3-4 hours. So send in all your questions. We'll try to answer all your questions and help as many people wholeheartedly. So, yeah, that's free. Subscribe to the Kriya Yoga School at Vedagurudev. Free Kriya Yoga School, 100% free, freekriyayoga.com. If you have a question, you're going through something in the present moment right now, book a call with me at Vedagurudev. Let me see.
No.
Kriya Yoga Masterclass .com. And yeah, book a call with me, and click on the red button, and a calendar will come up, and pick your date and time, and we'll try to solve your problems and overcome whatever you're going through in the present moment. And yeah, if you really enjoy the value we're giving here and you want to advance practices, go to Kriya Yoga Masterclass, click on the button, join our Kriya Yoga School, and you'll be a part of our Kriya Yoga School Masterclass family. And give it 30 days. If you don't see results, it's not effective for you, then you can cancel. But at least give it a try. You know,
Yeah.
Never know. You could be the next Kriya Yogi. If it worked for me, it could work for anybody.
Kriya Yoga's fun.
Kriya Yoga is goodness. Jai
Yes.
Babaji. Jai
Jai
Mataji. Jai Sitas.
I know what you were talking about, like, where I'm not my body, I'm not my sports team, I'm not my religion. I was thinking when I go to parties, they're like, the first thing they ask me is like, what do you do for a living? So they identify you with like what you do for a living. Like, I'm a chef, and then I can see their like head spinning, like what a chef is, and like they're already making opinions about who I am. It's like, I'm not a chef, I'm a soul.
Yeah.
Like, I'm something else.
You must live in California, close to Los Angeles. When I used to go to a party,
Yeah.
first thing they would ask me, what do you do? Same thing.
Yeah.
And I just got so tired, because if I say I'm a DJ, they would give me their demo and their record and all. I'll be carrying around this big stack of records. I just started saying I'm a driver, you know? I'm a human being. That's a good way to put it, you know?
Yeah.
But you're right. That's the first thing to ask. What do you do? Oh, this again, you know? Like, how can I leverage this guy to get me ahead in Los Angeles, California? You know, like,
yeah, they decide
oh,
if you're valuable.
you're a music producer. Oh, I sing. And oh, you know, here's my headshot. You're a director. You know, I'm an actress. You know, that type of thing. So, yeah. Now I identify with a child of the earth.
Yeah.
You know, a pure soul in the universe.
I'm a traveler. I'm a traveling
That's my
soul.
new answer. What do you do? I'm a pure soul in the universe. You know, I'm a helper. I try to help as many people as I can. You know.
And then hopefully they just walk away. Like,
Yeah, that wouldn't be
bye-bye.
music to their ears. You know.
Yeah, and I don't know, you got to enjoy every moment. Like at work, a coworker just passed away, and he was just talking about he just put in his retirement, and he was going to go to the Bahamas, and he had all these plans. But I think you just have to like act as if this is your last day. I don't know, like he was just like living for the future. But I don't know.
Just do the best you can in the present moment, because who knows what the future holds tomorrow. You know, like get ready so you don't have to stay ready, you know. So like just be the best person you could be in the present moment, because who knows when this crazy Maya delusional simulation's gonna end. And you don't want to be caught holding the bag, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do everything you can do. Live your life to the fullest. Enjoy your life to the fullest right now in the present moment, because who knows what the future holds tomorrow. And don't have no regrets. And if it is your last day, transcend with a big smile on your face and have the most positive energy possible. You don't want none of this Maya delusion or none of these lower emotions following you into the astral plane. Leave them all behind, right?
Yeah.
Wave bye-bye, burn them up. Travel light, my friend, on the divine flight, you know? Where's all your bags, sir? No bags. Just me and the clothes on my back. Be like a renunciate, you know? That's all they have either, you know? They just have the clothes on their back and their mala beads or whatever, you know? So travel light, my friends out there, you know?
Yep.
If it is your last day on earth, have no baggage, do everything you wanted to do, have no regrets. And don't transcend with any of these negative thoughts or identities or narratives. Travel light, my friend.
Yeah.
They don't serve you on the astral plane.
Yeah, everything I need is within me. Like, don't need all
everything is inside you, as my guru always used to say. All we have to do is realize and unlock. We have all the happiness. We have all the techniques we need inside us as us. All we have to do is realize it. So just being aware that you have everything inside you as you're pretty much all the way home, 80% of the way home. Just do a couple techniques. Wake up with a smile on your face. Enjoy nature. Love unconditionally. You know, love unlimitedly. Be as kind as you can. Be as compassionate as you can. Be the best person you can. Look for opportunities to help people as much as possible. You know, be the best pure soul child of the universe as you could be.
Yeah. Be love.
Be love. Practice being in a state of being.
I'm gonna practice love.
Practice love, practice being, be anchored in the present moment. Don't get attached. Don't let no one else's story become your story.
Yeah,
write your own story.
Maybe that's
sure
the key to escape.
Something
Yeah.
you said in another video, Vedagurudev, is which I never heard before. You say is history is his story, which I thought was interesting breakdown. And then it got me thinking, like, don't be worried about his or her story. Be worried about your story and your connection to divinity.
True.
Because that's your priority. When that's your focus, then history, what's in the past, his or her story, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't. It's because doesn't serve you in the present moment, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What difference does it make how many wooden teeth George Washington had?
Or what Kim Kardashian wore to the Grammys, or President Trump.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. Who cares what Kim Kardashian wore to the Grammys? How does it serve you in the present moment? It doesn't. It's just junk, distractions, mental candy. Do your inner work. Use your energy to uplift yourself. Can never go wrong. Love unconditionally. Be one with God.
Amen.
Amen. Jai Babaji.
Yeah.
Jai Babaji.
I know my intuition is saying that maybe we should stop here. The internet keeps freezing up on you. Like,
yeah, okay.
I don't know.
guess
Yeah, you just froze up.
that was a pretty good way to end it, I guess. Oh well. I guess they're calling it curtain time here at Kriya Yoga, here at the Thailand beach, in the Kriya Yoga school. Wrap it up, Vedagurudev.
Yeah. Yeah, you keep freezing and then like your words are freezing.
I'm trying to hold the internet for as long as I can. I mean, it's a miracle we went this long, 3.5 hours. So,
yeah.
I'm using the hotspot on my phone, so I guess it got me this far.
I had a
go ahead.
Well, I had an inspiration, Vedagurudev. I was thinking maybe I could do the peace mantra too. I'll do it first and then you do it. Maybe we can send peace twice. Okay,
that sounds great. Yeah, maybe we'll do Babaji's Mula mantra. You do one and I'll do one also.
Okay. Yeah.
You want to do that now?
Yeah, and then you you do your closing thoughts. Okay. All right. Do you want me to go first or you go?
Well, I'll give, for all the people that don't know, we say Babaji's Mula mantra, which is Babaji's direct phone number. So if you want to call on Babaji, you're going through something, I'll give you his simple mantra, which is Om, O-M, Kriya, Babaji, Namo Om. So Veronica will start, and finish it up.
Okay. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Kriya. Oh, sorry.
How many times you gonna say it? 3?
I wasn't sure. I was thinking you wanted me to go 3, so I don't know.
Okay, yeah, go 3. Sorry.
Okay, I'll go second time. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Kriya Babaji Namo.
Now I will go 3 times. Babaji's Mula mantra. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Next, we'll do the Shanti Universal Peace Mantra, sending peace and love to all people all around the world.
Okay, I'll go. Om Shanti 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 Shalom Sat Nam Sadhu Tao and Om Spirit. Swami Kami Amen Amen. Om Se La Hom. Om.
Om Shanti 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 Shalom Sat Nam Sadhu Tao Am Om Spirit Swami Kami Amen Amen Omen Selah Hum Om. Jai Babaji. I didn't know how much emotional pain I was carrying until Kriya Yoga helped me face it and release it. It is gentle, but it goes deep. If you're dealing with emotional wounds, anxiety, or old trauma, this practice could help you come back to your center. Book a free call at kriyayogamasterclass.com or join my free school at freekriyayogashop.com.
Kriya Babaji Namo. 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 Kriya Babaji Namo.